Don't worry about it too much, Liverpool fans.
Well, Galatasaray, for the first time in their history, their 120-year history, have won 7 out of 7 at the start of the Turkish Super League. However, their form in the Champions League, they've only won 1 of their last 18 as they are back in Europe's elite competition. Everybody, it seems, around us is standing on their feet. Everybody, it seems, is wearing the Galatasaray colours, as our referee is Clement Turpin, who's about to blow his whistle, and Liverpool will get us underway in their green shirt, their third strip. The green tops and white shorts were underway. Great noise here in Istanbul as the supporters, wherever they are inside this Ali Sami Yen sports complex, are jumping up and down in unison. No wonder they say that this is one of the loudest stadiums in Europe.
Well, that slightly caught me out. They were relatively quiet, not quiet, relatively so. And as soon as the whistle blew, they just erupted to a man, woman and child. That was phenomenal, the noise.
I think it's fair to say that our ears may well be ringing as we go to sleep later on. We're 2 hours ahead of you back home, as Van Dijk does play that ball up towards Frimpong, so he is playing ahead of Szoboszlai as we predicted. Frimpong now tries to work over the cross, and it goes out of play for a corner kick, and Liverpool in the opening 60 seconds have a corner far side the right.
Yeah, and it gets the ball first time, Frimpong. He just looks like a winger. He plays like a winger. Get the ball, get one-on-one with the full-back and just attack him, and that's exactly what he did there. Managed to win a corner kick, and that's, you know, he'd be asked to do that time and time again. And I think he could be grave danger down that right-hand side for Galatasaray.
Szoboszlai then to take the corner kick, far side to right. This will be an outswinger. Galatasaray have got everybody back inside the penalty area. In it comes now, aimed towards Konate, and his header drops well off target and out for a goal kick. 0-0.
Wow, that was a noise. I mean, it kind of feels choreographed, but yeah, and there are people who slightly choreographing it down the front, but that's what happens a lot of the time. But this is an extraordinary noise. I'm wearing noise-cancelling headphones, by the way. They ain't working.
We're also live, 5 Live final score tonight as the ball is played up towards Yilmaz. Yilmaz inside the penalty area. Alisson quickly off his goal line. Alisson had to be alert. Yilmaz made the run, cut inside off that left, got round the back, and Alisson, just as he did in the first half at Selhurst Park, made an important stop.
Yeah, and on top of that, if he cuts the ball across, I would argue that Osimhen's got a tap in. Osimhen's there. Actually, it's a tough ball. The defender might have got in the way. So, yeah, I'll give him his due there. He's got a chance to go for it, Yilmaz, and I don't blame him for going for it. But that is a real early warning for Liverpool.
Szoboszlai, who's playing as a right back, was certainly beaten for pace there. Corner kick for Galatasaray, far side to left. They're playing from left to right as we look. In it comes now. It's an in-swinger, and it goes out to this near side, and it will be Singo who will keep the ball, and he's happy then to let it run out of play actually for a throw right down for a throw for Galatasaray, as he's going to actually leave it now for Ismail Jacobs to take it, the Senegal international. So I can only think this is going to be a long one.
Well, everyone's gone all the way back into that 6-yard line, so it should be.
Aimed towards Bardacci, who's come up from the back. Osimhen was also there. Ball played out to Davison Sanchez, the former Tottenham player, and then from midway through the Liverpool half, he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, Shaqiri. A goal at Ashton Gate, Aaron Paul.
Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. Big header from Rob Atkinson. Mehmeti's corner right foot to into the box. Atkinson at the near post, beating 2 players to plant past the goalkeeper. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0.
Well, there is the whistles from the Galatasaray supporters. It is ear-piercing.
It is, it's absolutely stunning. And what a lift that must give to you if you're a Gala player. You can go and you close down, you're excited, you can use that energy. And they've won the ball high up the pitch.
Liverpool almost caught out there with the Galatasaray press. Wirtz brings it away, infield, cut out by Torreira, played forward then by Bardacci. And Gundogan will give chase and puts Kerkez under pressure, and Kerkez just safely marshals that ball out of play for a throw.
Gundogan right up behind Kirkis there and give him a little nudge, and I think Kirkis thought about going down looking for a free kick, and he might have thought twice, because the last time he did that he got booked and then his manager whipped him off.
Ekitike midway through the Liverpool half to Wirtz, can't wriggle clear. Ekitike though will run forward and picks up that loose ball and goes behind Wirtz, but they've overloaded that right hand side. Frimpong there with a cross, and Sanchez sliding back with the important intervention behind for a corner kick. 0-0, 5 minutes played.
Yeah, phenomenal pace this game has started. Very, very long game. One team attacks, another team attacks. I was at the Arsenal-Newcastle game at the weekend and it was mayhem. It was a basketball match. This might be the same.
These two sides, who they played on match day one, are actually playing each other in Madrid tonight, and Atletico are leading Eintracht Frankfurt by a 0-0. Eintracht Frankfurt beat Galatasaray 5-1. Liverpool, of course, got that win against Atletico Madrid 3-2 at Anfield. Corner kick for Liverpool. Szoboszlai doesn't beat the first man. And then as the whistles die down, Galatasaray clear the ball away. How lively is it at Stamford Bridge? John Southall.
Well, it's Chelsea 0, Benfica 0. Good start to the game, first chance of the game for Chelsea. Fernandes on the edge of the D, hit it well as Chelsea just pushed forward at the moment, hit it well wide of the left-hand post, and in it took 1 minute to get the Jose Mourinho chance from the home fans. Chelsea 0, Benfica 0.
Marseille are leading Ajax by a 0-0. There are no away supporters that have been allowed to travel to Marseille for that game in the south of France, but Marseille are ahead in the Champions League. 0-0 here. We're also live on BBC Radio Merseyside this evening, so thank you for joining us for our 5 live coverage. 6 minutes in, it remains 0-0. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, it does, and there's a lot happening in this game just now. There's a real confidence about the Galatasaray side just now. We'll see if Gundogan can get on the ball. He's not really got on the ball much now, but he's got a lot of pace up ahead of him. I'm really impressed by Yilmaz earlier on there down the left-hand side, but he's got pace, as has Osimhen as well, so Liverpool have to be aware of those breaks.
Gravenberch midway through the Liverpool half gives the ball for Ekitike to run onto, and gets there and drifts out towards that far side, the right, waits for support. It comes from Gravenberch, passes the ball out wide. Frimpong now right hand side, in goes the cross, cleared, stabbed away inside the 6-yard area by Sanchez, and then allowing to settle is Bardacci, and Yilmaz will try and win a throw. Doesn't go out of play though, and Liverpool actually get the ball back. And here is Curtis Jones, short and square towards Gravenberch, midway through the Galatasaray half. 7 minutes play. This is 5 Live, also live on the BBC Sounds app. 0-0.
It's a joy to come and watch a game where both teams actually are just going and attacking each other. Often you go to European games and one side sits back, tries to play in the break. It's not like that just now. Galatasaray are expected to go and attack Liverpool whenever they can.
Here is Szoboszlai, Frimpong. Challenge comes in very, very quickly from Singo on that far side. The ball then is shipped out to this near side by Jones for Liverpool. Gakpo on the left, level with the area. Cross comes in. Ekitike with the header, and it's just off target. Goal kick, but it was a good move by Liverpool.
It is, and you get a feeling. I mean, I'm not going to say there is definitely going to be goals, but this looks like a game that's going to have lots of chances. It's very open. There's a wee bit of naivety you can see in the way that Galatasaray are playing just now. That's leaving gaps, and if you leave gaps for good players like these Liverpool players, they will make good use of them. So I expect lots of chances in this game.
Frimpong with a little back heel in field, and Lemina caught dawdling on the ball, and he's had his pocket picked by Wirtz. However, Lemina with the dyed hair was quickly back to win the ball back for Galatasaray. Jones though now has it for Liverpool, back towards Konate. You can always tell when Liverpool are in possession because the whistles and the boos increase inside this terrific arena high up on a hill. About, I don't know, 3 miles from the former Ali Sami Yen Stadium in the Mecidiyeköy district of Istanbul, and that was a dilapidated but certainly intimidating stadium. The original, the infamous Ali Sami Yen.
Yeah, played there once and it was mayhem. It was absolutely mad. And It's one of those ones you actually never forget because of the noise that comes and hits you. Well, this place is bigger, and this place is better banked, and it has to be said, noisier.
Twice the size. That held about 23,000, the old place. Here is Szoboszlai. Jones able to turn, looks for a through ball, too far ahead of Ekitike. Singo, the right back, will get a touch. He's going to come under pressure from Gakpo. They go for a shoulder-shoulder. And from that barge, Singo is able to bring the ball clear midway through his own half. As he then turns, and Sanchez will play the ball towards Lemina.
That's great play by Singo. Really good play. I mean, it's not always the first choice right back. Sometimes plays centre back as well. But really comfortable on the ball, and he showed some real power off against a decent player there.
I'll be honest, there was an instruction from the studio where to go next, and I couldn't hear it. So in fact, it's to go back to Chelsea and John Southall.
Well, it's Chelsea 0, Benfica 0, but Benfica threatening. Pavlidis on the left of the area. Sanchez did well to get down at his near post to push it onto the post. Chelsea 0, Benfica 0.
What about Bodo Glimt Tottenham, John Akers?
It's 0-0, 8,000 fans, great atmosphere. One chance, Berg, for Bodo Glimt, who've started the better, a shot from 25 yards, beaten away. Glimt 0, Spurs 0.
Tomorrow night will be Monaco, Manchester City, with news of Newcastle in Belgium, and Arsenal at home to Olympiacos. Here we are, though, in Istanbul, as Frimpong on that right-hand side looks towards Wirtz. But Bardacci, the captain for Galatasaray, the central defender, comes forward, just steps out of defence, and the ball then runs away from him and out for a Liverpool throw. 11 minutes played, 0-0.
What is very noticeable about Galatasaray, they're playing such a high line. Look at in front of us just now. They've not got the ball, but they're 10 yards. Their back leg is 10 yards inside the Liverpool half. I bet you on that bench, Isak's going, let me on. Salah saying, please give me a chance here, because they would love that space to use.
Ball is cleared long by Sanchez. Konate climbs high. Good header by Konate. Bouncing ball has now been sliced up in the air by Jones for Liverpool in those green shirts. Comes back to Van Dijk, and he just pumps it long. Gakpo will give chase, and it is Singo, the right back, who will see it back to his goalkeeper, the Ivory Coast international. And then Shakir, the Turkish #1, clears long. Osimhen beaten in the air by Van Dijk. Galatasaray look for Osimhen. Konate, though, was there, right place, right time. Gravenberch pulled back by Lemina. No attempt to play the ball, but there's a free kick, and it's a warning from Clement Turpin to the Gabon international midfielder.
He's very fortunate not to get a yellow card there. Very fortunate indeed. He'd been done. He got too excited, tried to get in front of the player. And Lemina, it's all about closing people down. But if you've lost it and you drag someone back like that, I would say not once, but actually twice. To be fair, Premier League, there was no question that's a yellow card.
Frimpong is sent away on the right-hand side. Frimpong attacking, right side of the penalty area. Szoboszlai at right back joins the attack. His effort, though, is blocked by Yilmaz. Liverpool actually go to Marseille later on in their Champions League campaign, but Marseille have now got a second goal as they lead Ajax 2-0. And Sheffield United, bottom of the table, they got their first win, of course, at the weekend at Oxford. They've just taken the lead at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 0. Southampton without a win in 6 championship games.
I love the one of the phrases that you say before you go every football game. If you're playing away from home, go out there, lads, and quieten the crowd. Yeah, good luck with that. No chance at all, unless you actually score a couple of goals. And so far Liverpool have had the odd half chance, but not much more than that.
Blackburn Rovers are leading Swansea City by a goal to 0 in the championship. Ball played forward. Sanchez will turn and goes all the way back. He actually had 1 win in 7 during his time with Tottenham against Liverpool, the Colombian international. Gakpo threads it through. Ekitike in on goal. Ekitike into the area, tries to take it round, comes back to Gakpo. Goal line clearance. Wirtz now leaves it, and Galatasaray will get the ball away. Liverpool twice came close to opening the scoring 0-0.
Hanging on absolutely by the fingertips there. I told you about that high line, you'll get behind it. Ekitike can't believe how much space he's got to run into. However,
Yilmaz is now attacking for Galatasaray, enters the penalty area. Yilmaz then goes down, referee gives a penalty. Went down holding his face, and without any hesitation, Clement Turpin gives a penalty kick to Galatasaray. Szoboszlai, the offender.
Yeah, you've got to say the referee was up with the play, so he spotted it there. But we're going to see a replay here in a moment or two. And there's no big arguments. Szoboszlai's not shouting about it, has he? And that decision to play Szoboszlai right back and not Frimpong, I mean, he's been attacked twice. The first time he was done for pace, and the second time he's given away a penalty, it would seem. And it's his right hand. He goes to shove with his left elbow, catches him, and then his right hand flicks out. I don't think he can complain about that for a second. And I do not think that'll be turned around either.
Well, Jérôme Brissard is the VAR official. But they'll check it as a matter of course.
We underline, by the way, he did make a meal of it. Clearly, I mean, that's taken for granted. And yes, the referee's... I don't think he's going to take much time of it. I think he absolutely is comfortable with the decision.
Harry Kane, by the way, has scored in Paphos. It's his 17th goal in 11 games for club and country.
That's the least unexpected thing that will happen tonight.
So Victor Osimhen, who comes up against Alisson. When he was playing for Napoli 3 years ago, Alisson saved the penalty in Naples. Osimhen now, stuttering run up, he scores this time. Right-footed, emphatic penalty. And Galatasaray, as the noise will tell you here in Istanbul, are leading Liverpool by a goal to nil. Victor Osimhen with his third goal of the season.
Well, no, it's absolutely beyond belief there. Honestly, shocking. It moves you in your seat. But what a few moments of play we had there. It's such an open game. Liverpool really should have gone ahead. They had two great chances. They got a little bit lucky, Galatasaray, and yeah, they defended well as well. Straight up the other end, get a penalty kick, and it was a magnificent finish. Stops just a yard before the ball, and then just pings it just straight down the centre of the goal, above a diving Alisson. 1-0, game on.
Alisson dived to his right, Osimhen went down the middle, and Galatasaray are leading after 16 minutes. Galatasaray 1. Liverpool 0. When they conceded first to Crystal Palace at the weekend, it was the first time that they'd conceded the opening goal this season. Now they've gone back-to-back games, conceding first as Akgun runs forward and is stopped on the edge of the area. Wirtz now looks for Frimpong. Frimpong with pace, running through the middle. Frimpong looks to try and take it in towards the penalty area. Coming across was Jacobs. He gets there and it goes out of play for a throw. If they had a job quiet in the crowd when it was 0-0, it's just got doubly worse.
Yeah. Do you know, it's brilliant. I mean, they've gone and chased it again, Galatasaray there. They've gone and tried to attack, to go for a second goal, and they've left a massive gap at the back again. And then Frimpong's got a chance to run away. Now, Jacobs showed great pace to get back and stop it there. But Liverpool will get chances today. 100% they will get chances tonight because it's such an incredibly open game. This is going to be some ride tonight.
Galatasaray have now failed to score just once in their last 55 games in all competitions, stretching back to August 2024. And that was against Fenerbahce back in February. They've gone 21 games since now with that goal, that penalty. I mean, he did make the most of it.
Yeah.
Did Yilmaz. But the referee's VAR were never going to overturn it once the referee had given the decision.
No, I mean, he actually put his left arm out, but he swung his right arm behind him and caught him and he's gone down holding his face. Then in actual fact, he caught him in the neck, in the lower jaw. But he's caught him. He's never going to change that.
And we haven't really had time to talk about the effort for Liverpool just
I
did mention
it just afterwards. There were two efforts, and there were two great efforts, but great defending.
Kerkez with the cross, blocked, comes back to Kerkez, puts it in again, headed away by Lemina. It was Jacobs who actually made the goal line clearance from when Ekitike tried to round the goalkeeper. It was Gakpo's effort and Jacobs with the goal line clearance. But anyway, since then Liverpool have fallen behind. What's the latest at Stamford Bridge? John Southall.
Chelsea have the lead. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. Cross from the right-hand side. Garnacho, the back post, played it back across goal. And there was Rios, the Benfica defender, to put it into his own net. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Is it me, or is the noise just somehow amplified?
It's hard to know. It's ridiculous. You know we're not going to be able to speak in the morning or even tonight.
Ekitike tries to rob the ball from Sanchez. Succeeds too. Ekitike. He's got Jones ahead of him. He's also got Wirtz and Gakpo. Runs onto the ball and holds onto it too long. Wins it back actually, then flicks it. Falls towards Osimhen. Break on if Yilmaz can get there. Konate struggling. Yilmaz is there now. Midway through the Liverpool half. Held up by Konate. Plays it back towards Osimhen. Osimhen rolls it towards Lamina. Galatasaray lead by a goal to nil. 20 minutes played. 5 live. Also live on Radio Merseyside. And we're live in Istanbul.
You're watching Galatasaray playing, you think they're 1-0 up against Liverpool. They've played very well. They are chasing every single ball. They're making every single tackle. But I also know why they lost 5 goals against Eintracht Frankfurt, because they're so incredibly open. They are so incredibly brave. Some people would say naive, but to be honest, they've made it a joy of a game to watch so far tonight.
Bayern Munich have got a second goal. Paphos 0, Bayern Munich 2 is the latest score in the Champions League. Galatasaray leading by a goal to nil. Gundogan far side the left. Yilmaz down that left-hand side. Looks for Jacobs. Szoboszlai slides into the challenge. It's a Galatasaray throw that Jacobs wants to take quickly. Goal at Leicester. Sani Rudavajala.
And it's gone to the host. Leicester City 1, Wrexham 0. Jordan James, lovely interplay and a cool finish just inside the box. Leicester 1, Wrexham 0.
This now is Lamina. Back then with Bardacci. Every outfield player is in the Liverpool half.
So I'm trying to figure out, we were talking about the whole Szoboszlai versus Frimpong thing, and he switched it around, got Szoboszlai playing as the right full-back there. Is it maybe the pace, not just the pace, but the height that he's playing against?
Well, here is Gakpo. It's the 4th time this season that Szoboszlai has played as a right-back. Frimpong has played there 4 times also, and Conor Bradley on 2 occasions has played in. The rest of that Liverpool back line has actually been quite settled. When you take away the exception where they made wholesale changes against Southampton. But Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez, in fact Kerkez is the only Liverpool player to appear in all 10 games this season.
We are talking about Szoboszlai playing that right back, and it's because he gave away the penalty and he was under a lot of pressure early on, and it's clear that Gala are trying to put the ball in that area and ask questions of a player that they think may well be a slight and only a slight weakness.
Sheffield Wednesday have equalised at St Andrews. Birmingham City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1 is the latest score. You can listen and watch to 5 Live final score through the BBC iPlayer and also through the BBC Sport website. Gakpo on the near side, the left over the halfway line. Liverpool in their green shirts and white shorts. Jones makes the run ahead of him. Edge of the penalty area stopped by Sanchez. And Singo, who is the right back for Galatasaray, his clearance is charged down and allows Sanchez to clatter the ball away downfield. Yilmaz scoops it over the head of Osimhen. Van Dijk's header away. Osimhen tries to win it back. Loses out to Gravenberch. Jones able to turn. Out towards Gakpo. Okan Burak, who is the Galatasaray coach, he's extremely animated as he patrols that technical area. As Gakpo did well, then he was fouled, tried to play on, fell over in the challenge with Lucas Torreira, and the French referee will give a free kick to Liverpool. And then I just like the way that the referee's held up his index finger and he's given him with his wide eyes a glare as if to say, go on then, challenge me.
Yeah, you've got to be a strong personality to be a referee. You have got to be a super strong personality to referee in here and not be swayed to some degree. Now, I think he's lent a little bit towards Gala in these first 25 minutes or whatever, but he's not been bad.
Back 10 yards in then from the left touchline. Liverpool play from right to left. Kerkez is going to take it. Galatasaray, who just got one standing 10 yards away, that is Gundogan. Everybody else in those halved shirts are back inside their penalty area. And Kerkez swings it square towards Gravenberch, now towards Szoboszlai, diagonal ball into the area. Gakpo is there over his head, runs through towards Kerkez. The referee, though, has blown his whistle.
Yeah, quite surprising they didn't put the ball in there. They played it across to the right. It took just too long there. And if you get it across the field, you've upset the defenders and maybe asked them a different question because they're not set. But it was done just too slowly. When you do it that slowly, they get the opportunity to get set again, and that's exactly what happened with that Galatasaray defence.
Ball played out by Çakır. Uracan Çakır, the 29-year-old goalkeeper who signed in the summer from Trabzonspor for 27 million euros. They certainly spent some money, most notably, of course, on Osman, 75 million euros, and it is his goal from the penalty spot that separates the sides. As Ekitike just tries to flick it past Bardakci, but can't get past Bardakci, the central defender. Akgün gets the ball back from Gundogan and comes on the inside away from Konate, looks for Osman on the turn, shoots edge of the area, blocked by Kerkez, runs out towards Singo on this near side, the right. Galatasaray now with a cross, aimed towards Osman, cleared then by Curtis Jones. If there were doubts about his fitness, he looks certainly sharp enough, Victor Osimhen, as Gakpo now runs forward and gets round the back on this near side, the left. Held up, passes the ball inside, Frimpong is over on the right, Jones finds Frimpong inside the area, Frimpong aims towards Wirtz, but a tumbling Bardakci blocks that cross. Liverpool get it back. Szoboszlai far side the right, looking for an equaliser. Lively atmosphere, and it's a lively game on 5 Live. Jones now 30 yards out from goal, passes the ball out towards Gakpo, left-hand side, level the area. Kerkez on the overlap, not utilised. Gakpo runs inside, Gakpo shot, repelled by the head of Sanchez. It'll come out towards Szoboszlai, Liverpool still threatened. Wirtz plays it, Ekitike gets away from his marker, back towards Wirtz, edge of the area, out towards the right, Frimpong now goes on the outside, can't get the crossover. Last touch came off Frimpong, that'll be a goal kick. Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, but that's much more like Liverpool. The Liverpool you know, that they can dominate teams for periods of time, and they held the ball for a good long time there. They went from one side to the other, put some good crosses in, left and right, cutting inside, continually asking questions. Now, they didn't get the answer they wanted there, but if they keep on playing like that, they will find gaps, they will get chances.
Mason Greenwood has actually scored Marseille's 3rd goal. Marseille 3, Ajax 0 is a latest score elsewhere in the Champions League. There's a stoppage in play here. The physio is just tending to Victor Osimhen at the moment, so we'll get an update from Stamford Bridge with John Southall.
Where Chelsea lead Benfica by 1-0. That Rios own goal, the difference between the two. Buonanotte a moment ago on the right of the area. Good strike, but straight at the keeper. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
And an update from Bodo Glimt Tottenham, John Akers.
It's 0-0, it's all Bodo Glimt, 8,000 fans, plastic pitch, Berg with their best chance. They've just had a header on target from a corner as well. Richarlison miscontrolled at the far post is the only time Spurs have had a sighter. It's 0-0.
Victor Osimhen wearing a face mask, just had the old magic spray out on, I think, his knee. Yeah. So he's just temporarily come to the side of the pitch.
Well, to be honest, he's obviously still feeling some sort of knock there. He's not 100%. He's one of those players who knows that I am in the spotlight now. I am getting noticed. This is what European football eyes are. I want to be out there. So he will keep on going as long as he humanly possibly can.
Were you surprised that a Premier League club didn't come in for him, bearing in mind that last season, whilst he was on loan here from Napoli, he scored 37 goals in his 41 appearances?
Look, centre-forwards, everybody wanted a centre-forward, but at a certain price, and you needed somebody you thought, you can trust. And to put that sort of money...
Wirtz has lost the ball, the referee's blown his whistle, sorry Pat.
To actually have that sort of money spent in a player who hasn't done it in the Premier League, it's a big chance to take. And of course, remember, he's not the youngest anymore. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, he was top of everyone's shopping list. Isn't the case now.
That's Pat Nevin, and we'll get an update now from the Riverside with Rob Law.
Middlesbrough, the league leaders, are dominant. Hayden Hackney and David Strelick both have had shots well saved by the Stoke keeper. It's attack versus defence at times, but it remains Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0.
So Chelsea are leading Benfica by 1-0, Marseille 3, Ajax 0, Atletico 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 0, and Pavos 0, Bayern Munich 2. Osimhen into the penalty area, right hand side, crosses the ball, turned behind by Konate as he looked for the ball in towards Gundogan, who was making that run in towards that left-hand post. Galatasaray 1-0 up, have a corner kick.
Yeah, Osimhen gets the ball there. Poor play by Liverpool, playing it out from the back there. Lost possession. He's struggling a bit just now. He clearly isn't fully fit, but he got himself into an area there where it was such an angle you thought most players won't shoot from there, but I thought, Osimhen, yeah, he'll have a shot. He didn't. then that makes me think he's not quite himself and he's worried about that knee.
Swansea City have equalised at Ewood Park in the Championship. Blackburn Rovers 1, Swansea City 1. Galatasaray, the Turkish champions, have a corner kick far side the left. They're leading by a goal to nil. Gundogan to take it. It's an in-swinger. In it comes. Konate heads it away. Bouncing ball. Akgun heads it back. Yilmaz is there. Overhead kick comes in. And the overhead kick from Davison Sanchez was off target. It was not a bad effort, but it was well wide in the end. Goal kick for Liverpool. Half an hour played.
Centre half are allowed to do that. He didn't catch it well. Actually, the technique looked very good indeed. Definitely worth a go there, and they do look dangerous from corners. The quality of the ball in has been very, very good when they've got the few corners that they have so far. Galatasaray.
Curtis Jones plays the ball in field. Gravenberch will leave it for Van Dijk. His early ball towards Wirtz. He's helped on its way out towards Frimpong on the right, and Liverpool now with pace coming forward. Wirtz goes over towards Frimpong, gives it towards the German international. Szoboszlai joins it, the attack from defence. Szoboszlai then passes the ball in towards the centre circle of the Galatasaray half. Van Dijk's forward ball. Curtis Jones able to turn the way that Liverpool are playing, right to left. 14 minutes to go to half time. Sustained passing from Liverpool, and as a result the whistles and the hoots grow louder and louder here inside this Rams Park arena. Here now is Konate. Back towards Van Dijk. Curtis Jones able to turn again. 6 yards inside the Galatasaray half. Gravenberch towards Konate. Szoboszlai and Frimpong are away to his right. Goes short and square to Szoboszlai. Gravenberch. Jones wants the ball to feet. Gets it. Gakpo stays out wide on this near side. Here is Gakpo now on the left. Kerkez will make the run in behind. Gakpo's cross. Frimpong climbs in the air. Wirtz goalward. Great save by the keeper. Hit it instinctively on the half volley, right-footed, but Shaqiri dived away to his left, turning behind for a corner kick. 1-0 Galatasaray.
Wirtz does everything right there. The ball's behind him. He's not going to develop enough space or pace off of that ball, but he gets it on the turn, he gets it on target. Keeper has to make a save, and that maybe left Wirtz a wee bit. He's not had a great impact in this game so far, but I'll tell you one thing, watching him off the ball, there's no lack of effort in running for the man.
Nicholas Jackson, on loan from Chelsea, has got a third goal for Bayern Munich at Paphos. Corner kick from Szoboszlai for Liverpool. Van Dijk keeps it alive. Kerkez, goal-bound effort, not once but twice. Ekitike is there as well, and the ball is scrambled behind for a corner kick. Liverpool knocking on the door as they trail.
There is no other word in the English language for that. Scramble is the correct word, because there was so much happening in that 6-yard box. A couple of chances once again. Kerkez maybe the best of them all. That's a couple of occasions Liverpool have been banging right on that door.
Another corner kick for Liverpool that Gakpo is going to take. The referee's just having a word there with, I think Singo's getting to grips with Van Dijk. In comes the corner kick, and the header, in fact, goes out for a goal kick. When you say not another word, I'm surprised that you didn't use the word Stramash.
We can say it in unison.
Stramash in stereo.
I almost say there's not a word. No, I did actually. I said the phrase, there's not another word in English.
Ah, okay.
That's Scottish.
Okay. That is a good point, well made.
Yes.
Atletico Madrid have got a second goal at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. Atletico 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 0.
By the way, we've not actually talked too much about that. The fact that the ball was put in near post there. I think it's Konate that gets to it first there on the header. That is a fabulous chance that he just couldn't get enough cut on the header, or else it'd been a goal.
Ball played in. Osimhen goes for the early chip, and Alisson had to react. He hit it so early. Great vision from Ottoman. Made that run on off the right touchline. He's probably 25 yards out from goal, and Alisson was off his goal line, and he's tried to float the ball forward, but Alisson reacted all in black and made that little movement just to catch the ball away to his left.
Yeah, well done, Osimhen. I mean, question whether it was or wasn't onside. It was very, very tight. But he gets there. He tried to chip it to the near post, and if he had that again, he would chip it to the back post, because Alisson would not have got it had he got it over his fingers there, and there was plenty of space to get it in the goal.
Ball goes long. Gakpo comes on the inside of Singo. Singo's back goal side. Looks the run of Wirtz. Frimpong is away to his right. Wirtz goes alone. Shot blocked. And then Torreira inside the D of the penalty area to Gundogan. Fouled by Gravenberch. Just tried to spin away from Gravenberch. Penalty in the Arctic Circle. John Akers.
And it's for Bodo Glimt, 33 minutes gone. It was Bentancur, a bit rash, sliding in by the byline, no need for it. And it's going to be Kasper Hjør with the penalty, the number 9, standing all in yellow in front of these expectant fans in the Arctic Circle, with Vicario bouncing on his line on the plastic pitch, staring at the ball. Hjør with his headband on, his big ginger beard, standing with his arms by his side. Referee blows his whistle, and Spurs are staring down the barrel of going 1-0 down here. Hjør for Bodo Glimt steps up, right-footed and puts it over the bar. Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0.
Good attacking for Galatasaray, right-hand side, low ball into the area, stopped by Kerkez, falls over, loose ball, put out of play by Van Dijk. Harry Kane has got his second goal of the night. Paphos 0, Bayern Munich 4, and at San Siro, Inter now leads Slavia Prague 2-0. Denzel Dumfries has put last year's runners-up 2-0 up there in Italy.
How many could that be with Paphos? That could be a lot. 4 already. Another really good chance there. Really impressed by the different options that they've got going forward. Galatasaray, I mean, Yilmaz on the left-hand side is really, really quick. We know about Osimhen's skill and Osimhen's power as well. But Atgun, he's a clever little player on the right-hand side, picking up the ball and really causing Liverpool problems.
When Leicester City won the Championship in 23-24, he made 29 appearances on loan at Leicester City, just contributed to 2 goals. As Curtis Jones runs forward, then he's stopped in his tracks, bundled over, and that is going to be a yellow card to Lemina. Liverpool get a free kick outside the centre circle, and the former Southampton, Wolves and Fulham midfielder is booked as we go to Middlesbrough and Rob Law.
Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0 at half-time. Mark Robbins will be the happier of the 2 managers at the break. Stoke have struggled to get out of their own half at times. Hackney and Strelic both went close for Middlesbrough. They could have had a penalty as well, but it remains Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0 at the break.
Half-time at Ashton Gate, Aaron Paul.
Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. A powerful Rob Atkinson header splits the teams in half of limited chances. Ross McCrory has come closest to a second. His header held by Alex Palmer in the Ipswich goal. Speaking of Ipswich, haven't laid a glove on their host. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0.
The respective physios are on to tend to Gundogan and Konate, so there is a stoppage in play as we have 9 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live, with Galatasaray still leading by a goal to 0. Half-time then at Leicester, Sunny.
Leicester 1, Wrexham 0, deserved lead. Jordan James on 38, driving into space, neat with Daka, and a cool finish for his first since joining on loan from Rennes. Half-time, Leicester 1, Wrexham 0.
Couple of games in League One tonight. Blackpool, I notice, at half-time, a 1-0 up against Luton. What's the half-time score at Cardiff? Molly Stevens.
Cardiff 0, Burton 0, lacking moments of quality in the box here. 80% possession for Cardiff, looking to go top tonight, but 4 shots on target, well defended or easily saved. Burton have had 1 decent chance, a George Evans header that was saved. Every other chance they panic and sky the ball. Half-time 0-0.
They need a win to go top and displace Bradford City at the top of League One, as Gundogan is just coming to the side of the field here, and Konate, I think, is going to have to do likewise after his treatment, Pat. Yeah,
there was 3 players down at the same time there, so physios didn't know where to go. Gundogan was just unfortunately, he went to attack the ball with his head, rolled over the top and landed on his back. He's going to be fine. Maybe Liverpool have got a little bit more of a worry up there. They do not need any more. They don't want anyone in the back line to be injured at all, because it's been quite settled. It's not something they've had to worry about too much. But Konate down for a decent amount of time there, but he's back up now and ready to come back on as soon as he gets a nod.
Well, Curtis Jones also wandered over to the 2 Liverpool physios, and they were looking at something to do with his face, whether I think he might have a facial injury. He's got like a swab pushed up his nose, I can make out from a lofty position here. So it means that Liverpool now are still down to 9. They're not allowed to come back onto the field of play.
The first thing you should be doing there is play a couple of passes and then get it back to your goalkeeper and then launch it, and hopefully that takes away the 30 seconds or so that you have to wait off the pitch.
So now that all the injured players are allowed to come back on.
Right, it has to go back to the goalkeeper now. Was I right? Couple of passes, back to the keeper. Yeah, they've killed the time. Well done, Virgil van Dijk, well done.
Here is Wirtz. Kerkez plays it early and forward. Jones on the halfway line, lifts it over Sanchez, does well, and he was caught by Torreira. Torreira can't believe that. It was a stray boot that has caught him on the shin. Jones is fouled, taken quickly with a free kick by Kerkez. Too quickly, says the referee. Liverpool have got away with that. because Kirkes gave it away.
Yeah, he said it was a rolling ball, the referee. Well spotted if he's right. The referees don't let the players away with that. It's a very, very poor pass at that point in time. But it's still a lively game. It's still being played at a very, very good pace just now. And we've kind of brushed over it a wee bit. Lemina goes, he's got a yellow card just now. He should have had one before. The referee was quite lenient with him. So that's one player who needs to be careful. And the one thing we found out about Lemina, he isn't always careful.
Derby County 0, Charlton 1 is the latest score in the Championship. That was an 8 o'clock kickoff, as is this here. Although it was 10 o'clock kickoff in Istanbul. Ball played forward by Kirkes. Long one in towards the penalty area, aimed towards Van Dijk. Referee's blown his whistle and gives a free kick to Galatasaray.
Do you know what? I thought I heard the whistle there, which is actually amazing.
Yeah.
When you think of the noise around here and the distance we are away. But yeah, the referee's called that a little bit of a push when the ball went in there. I think he's just got himself out of a hole slightly, but you have to say they've done well. And you're already beginning to think, getting close to, half-time, how many changes does Arne Slot make if he wants to really go for this? Or does he trust in his team thinking, right, OK, you might make a difference, or if you haven't, after 60 minutes, they will tire. And there's no doubt, Gala, with the amount of effort they put into this, they will tire at some point in this game.
You must have bionic hearing.
Yep.
Another update from Stamford Bridge, John.
Well, Chelsea lead Benfica by 1-0, but play was just temporarily stopped. Enzo Fernandez went to take a corner in the far side in front of the shed end where the Benfica fans are, and bottles rained down onto him. Jose Mourinho walked all the way down the touchline asking the fans to stop it. Thankfully they have, and the game's back underway. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Thank you, John. Bodo Glimt have missed a penalty. It remains 0-0 between Bodo Glimt and Tottenham. Liverpool trailing as Van Dijk runs the ball out towards that far side. It went away from him. It was a bouncing ball that Yilmaz and Lemina between them have helped tidy up towards the goalkeeper Çakir, all in purple away towards our left as they lead 1-0 the Turkish champions.
What's very noticeable, the Gala players, they never flinch a challenge. They go for every single one 100%. Ooh, Liverpool there, living a wee bit dangerously there. Played a very high line. Osman saying, I was in!
Akgün thought he was offside and then passed the ball weighted out towards Yilmaz, and it was too far ahead of him. Meanwhile, Liverpool are attacking. Frimpong far side to right, down towards the corner flag. They've doubled up on Frimpong, and Yilmaz doing his defensive shift well, helping out Ismail Jacobs, the Senegal left back, and it goes out for a Galatasaray throw deep inside their own half.
Frimpong had a very good start, didn't he? Got to the byline a couple of times, asked a few questions. Since then, they've just shown him down the line and just said, OK, right, that's that trick. What else have you got? He's actually not shown anything else, so he needs to go and maybe go inside a couple of times, ask a couple of different questions now, because he's doing the same thing every time now, and Jacobs is saying, fine, do that. I know what you're going to do. So he's going to have to just mix it up a little bit.
2.5 minutes to go to half-time in this cauldron here in Istanbul. And Galatasaray are leading by a 1-0. Nobody seems willing to take the free kick. Lemina is eventually the player who is going to take it 10 yards inside. No, he's not. He's going to leave it for Gundogan, who's just casually walking backwards to take it.
He's got to be careful. That's Lemina there that was wasting time. He's on a yellow card. The referee's not happy about time wasting.
Gundogan takes it down the line towards Yilmaz, far side the left. Frimpong is back. The ball goes to Sanchez, just outside the centre circle. Singo on this near side, collects it around knee height, just reared up for him a little bit there. And then to Sanchez. Liverpool are pressing. Jacobs will hit it long, and Singo was caught off the ball, so the referee stopped play as the ball was hit down that left-hand side. And Singo sitting up. Galatasaray, I think, are going to get a free kick.
Once again, I don't think it is as bad as Singo said it was. There he went down, but Kirkes certainly gave him a little bit of a nudge. I wonder if there's a little bit of kick as well. It's just a tangle of legs as much as anything else there, so referee's not reached for his card correctly. But it is a free kick for Gala, and we'll see if they're going to put it into the box just as we get to the last minute and a half or so of the first half.
Yep, just over 60 seconds remaining. And Gundogan not quite midway through the Liverpool half, is going to take this free kick. Arms held aloft by Gundogan. Right-footed, long, diagonal ball into the area. Alisson comes along off his goal line, commanding take with both hands, all in black, long hair, the beard, holding on to the ball. There's the 5-second warning from the referee, and he quickly had to then roll the ball out underarm towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk at walking, passes the ball square towards Konate, goes back towards the Liverpool captain, just outside the centre circle. Kerkez down the line towards Jones. Jones waits, almost dispossessed. Challenge comes in then from Torreira, and the referee will give Liverpool a throw, as we'll find out how much stoppage time we will have played here in Istanbul. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, just watching Singer making the challenge here, and I really don't think Gakpo's enjoying playing against him. He's a quick player, he's a confident player, but he's one of those players, when he makes a tackle, he looks like a threshing machine coming towards you. Legs are everywhere, and you know, wait a minute, if you're not in control there, you actually could get hurt. And he's, I think Gakpo is not enjoying those challenges.
3 minutes of added time. Paphos have got a goal back. Paphos 1, Bayern Munich 4. Whistles once again intensified. Liverpool trail. Arne Slot patrols and watches on that technical area. His 70th game in Europe as a manager. It's his first experience of playing against Turkish opposition. Remember, he had spells in Europe with AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord before coming to Liverpool. As a free kick is given against Gundogan to Galatasaray.
Gundogan, brilliant play there. He had 3 Liverpool players around him. He's never going to be able to run away for them. So he has to hold it, he has to feint, he has to dummy, and he has to draw a tackle. And he did all of those things using every moment of experience. Was there much of a touch? Of course not. But he managed to get... I mean, Arne Slot agrees with me there. There was very little touch, but he did what he had to do.
Here is Yilmaz, left-hand side, looking for Jacobs, headed away by Frimpong. Gravenberg tries to bring that awkward ball under control, lifts it forward. Bardacci then hammers the ball high into the Istanbul air, drops a long way onto the head of Van Dijk. Atletico Madrid have now got a 3rd goal against Eintracht Frankfurt. Atletico 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 0. As the ball is put out of play by Ismail Jacobs, the left back. In stoppage time, Liverpool looking for an equaliser. But whether they have enough time to get the ball downfield, as it's at the back with Konate. When the referee's half-time whistle is sounded, the cheers will tell you when it's blown. Ball is hit long for Ekitike. Sanchez turns, heads it away. Torreira picks up that loose ball midway through the Liverpool half. Too far ahead of Lemina, laid off to him though by Gundogan to Lemina. Now with Yilmaz, drags it forward, runs on that left-hand side up against Szoboszlai, bundles Szoboszlai over. Play continues, Yilmaz enters the penalty area, Osimhen looking to turn, pulls it back, Singo joins the attack, but his shot on the run left-footed is high over the top for a goal kick. Galatasaray 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, really good, strong play down there. Szoboszlai cannot believe he didn't get a free kick there. But it was shoulder to shoulder. He was just not strong enough.
Gravenberg caught in possession. Does he foul Osimhen just outside the area? The referee's having a look at it. Was it inside or out? I think he said just outside, inside the D. This will be a direct free kick. Gravenberg caught in possession.
I mean, that's 2 or 3 times that's happened to Liverpool. You know, playing out from the back. They've been closed down, but they've been a bit sloppy as well. The ball played into the middle there, but there's enough Galatasaray players up there. And yes, it is. It's a yard outside. The referee spotted that right away. It's no more than that. And Osimhen, yeah, again, he's kind of looking for it, waiting for it, but there is contact there. It is 19 yards out precisely, I would suggest. And they would rather it was 21-22, so he could get it up and over. But we shall see. Gundogan fancies this one, doesn't he?
Gravenberg, incidentally, was shown a yellow card. Yunus Akgun holds the ball. Gundogan loiters. Liverpool, this should be the last bit of action in the first half. Live on 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app, and also on Radio Merseyside tonight. And everybody inside this Ali Sami Yen sports complex waits with bated breath because Galatasaray currently on a longest ever winless run at home in Europe's elite competition of 8 games, stretching back to September 2018, have a chance here with this set piece to maybe increase their lead. And the discussions go on as Liverpool have everybody back in a wall. Alisson's not going to get a good side of this either. They've got somebody in the draft excluder role, that is Kirkes, lying down behind that wall. Atgun takes 4 steps back, it's then touched, fired in, loose ball taken quickly, and it's cleared away by Ekitike.
I think that's really clever what he did there. None of that trying to flick it up and over the wall. It was too close to do that. Move it wide around the wall and have a lash at it, but it just get caught up in Liverpool green shirts there. Got a little bit lucky with the ricochet. Could have gone anywhere.
I think it might have been Badaci who eventually fired the ball in. They're now having a word with the referee. If they opt to try and take it quickly, then that's their lookout, surely.
Yeah, no reason why not. I think the referee's had enough. I think he wants a rest for his ears.
The half-time whistle sounds and Galatasaray lead Liverpool by 1-0. An Osman penalty converted down the middle after 16 minutes. Galatasaray have caused Liverpool problems at the other end. Jacobs with a goal line clearance and Shaqiri with a wonderful save to keep out Wirtz. It has been lively and it has been entertaining, and I'm sure that we will have much of the same in the second half. But here in the Ali Sami Yen Sports Complex at the break, Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0.
Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin will give you a second to get your voices back after speaking over that intense noise at Galatasaray. Mostly whistles, it has to be said. Andros Townsend has been watching as well. Andros, thoughts on the first half?
I thought thoroughly impressed with Galatasaray. I didn't know they'd be able to impose their style of play on Liverpool the way they have. They've been very calm and composed in possession, but out of possession is where they've really impressed me. The way they've looked to press Liverpool, especially from goal kick situations, force Liverpool into tons of turnovers, 2 or 3 turnovers, just from their aggressive press. Gundogan and Osimhen up front really working hard. And what they've done as well, when they've got the ball, they've targeted Szoboszlai in that right back position. Yilmaz using his strength, using his height, using his speed, using his dribbling ability to force Liverpool into conceding that penalty, and that's really been their outlet down that left-hand side against Szoboszlai. So no, really impressed with Galatasaray. Liverpool have got a lot to do to get back into this game in the second half.
What do you think of Liverpool's first half performance? And it's always sort of coloured by the scoreline at the whistle for half time. But there have been moments. I mean, there's 25 seconds between Cody Gakpo's attempt cleared off the line by Sanchez at one end and Galatasaray winning a penalty at the next.
No, there have been moments. There have been moments when they've broken through that press. They've been able to get Wirtz on the ball. They've been able to get Frimpong on the wide right, who's put a couple of good crosses in. Gakpo's had some space down the left. Ekitike's had a couple of chances, like you mentioned, just before the goal. So they have had some good chances, but they haven't been clinical when they've got into those positions. And Galatasaray have on the other end, and that's the story of the first half.
It's been the story of the first half. There have, though, as you say, been chances for Liverpool. Is there the intensity at which Galatasaray play? Is there a sense that if Liverpool make changes in the second half or into the second half in this game, bring fresh legs on, that Galatasaray might tire as the game goes on, or can they keep up this intensity?
Possibly. Against Liverpool, it's always going to be tough to keep up the intensity for 90 minutes, but even if Galatasaray don't tire, there are moments where they've broken through the press, they've had chances, they've created, probably away from home in the Champions League, you've created enough chances to score a goal at least. So they just have to keep doing what they're doing. When they get the ball in wide areas, make sure the quality is right. When the ball goes through to the striker, make sure he's clinical on the finish. So they don't really need to make changes at this point. They just need to be more clinical when they do get into the final third.
Andros is going to stay with us. We'll be back in Turkey for the second half of Galatasaray against Liverpool. Galatasaray lead by their Osimhen penalty to 0 at half-time. They've now opened the scoring in 20 games in a row in all competitions. Last time they didn't was on 29th of March. They lost away to Besiktas. It's not the only game, of course, taking place in the Champions League this evening. Chelsea are up against Benfica. Watching that one, John Southall.
And they lead Benfica by 1-0. The goal after 18 minutes. Lovely ball from Pedro Neto on the right hand side. He's been really good tonight. Neto, Garnacho at the back post, played it back across the 6-yard box, and Richard Rios put it into his own net. Benfica one chance really Pavlidis on the left of the area. Sanchez did well at his near post to push it onto the post. Then right on half-time, Tyreek George 7 yards out, straight at Trubin. Good chance. That hasn't been a thriller. Paul Robinson still awake?
Yeah, just about. I think Pat have got all the drama in Turkey tonight by the sound of it. But Chelsea, it's been a workmanlike performance, hasn't it? Without being overly sparkling. The atmosphere did die a death a little bit after Chelsea went 1-0 up, and the game kind of levelled out. Benfica had their early chances. They're playing deep. You can see the way that Jose's organised his team. They've got a back 4-5 in midfield in front of them when they're out of possession, but in the wide areas, in Sudakov, in Lukabekio and Pavlidis, they've got players with pace on the break who have proved that they can hurt and make a couple of chances against Chelsea. Chelsea in full control of this. It's up to them how this game progresses. They go forward, take the chances, but I think for me, the glaring miss for Chelsea is an out-and-out number 9. They really do miss a number 9.
Yeah, as we said beforehand, also had one incident when Enzo Fernandez went to take a corner. Bottles were thrown from the shed end from the Benfica fans. Jose Mourinho marched down the touchline to the far end to those supporters, arms in the air, protesting for them to stop, and they did stop. The peacekeeper Jose Mourinho, he is mellowing. Half-time, Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Well, you say that, but they sung his name 2 minutes in and he started blowing kisses towards the home fans. So making sure that his spotlight is still very much on him at Stamford Bridge this evening as he returns with Benfica. But Chelsea leading by a 1-0. We'll be back with Paul Robinson and John Southall a little bit later on. Bodo Glimt taking on Spurs. John Akers is watching this one.
Well, Spurs are lucky to be going in level at the break, let me tell you. Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0. And that's because Bodo Glimt have missed a penalty. Bentancur slid in, was rash when he didn't need to as the ball was being crossed at the byline. It was a definite penalty. They checked it on VAR, but Kasper Hjorg missed the penalty, put it over the crossbar. So a let-off for Spurs, who had only one real sighter of goal, and that was Richarlison early on, cross from the left from Bergvall. Didn't quite anticipate that if the defender missed it, then he might have an opportunity, and it kind of just hit him and went through to the keeper. Brennan Johnson's had a half volley from 20 yards over. They've missed some really good chances, Bodo Glimt. 63% possession, 1.65 XG. Spurs need to do better in the second half. Bodo Glimt 0, Spurs 0.
John, thank you very much for that. John Bennett is watching the games that aren't involving British teams this evening. We talked about Harry Kane beforehand, and he always delivers. Let's check in though with what's happening in the EFL this evening, and we can go to Aaron Paul.
Penalty, Kelly, to Ipswich Town. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 0. The home side still leading through that Rob Atkinson header in the first half, but at the beginning of this second half, it's Ipswich with the opportunity to level up. Jack Clark setting up right-footed, jogs up towards the ball, fires it past the goalkeeper down the middle. Goalkeeper dive to his right. Ipswich back on level terms. Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Remember, we're keeping you across everything that's happening in the EFL as well as the Champions League this evening. John Bennett, you were about to go into full flow on Harry Kane.
Yeah, he's done it again. 2 more goals. Paphos 1, Bayern Munich 4. So Harry Kane scored one, which was a typical Harry Kane goal from a tight angle, but his second was a solo goal, almost dancing past defenders. Got a bit of luck as the ball deflected through, but 3 or 4 defenders he beat before scoring. And the guys watching the Chelsea game were saying that Chelsea are missing a number 9. Nicholas Jackson got his first Bayern Munich goal. The best goal, though, was for Paphos Orsic with a brilliant consolation goal, but it's Paphos 1, Bayern Munich 4.
Atletico Madrid as well, 3-0 up against Frankfurt. They're in a great run of form domestically and in Europe.
Yeah, after beating Real Madrid in the Madrid derby 5-2, they have been sensational. As you say, 3-0 up. So Raspadori got his first goal for the club after moving from Napoli. Robin Norman scored as well. And Antoine Griezmann, after he scored, he held up a shirt with 200 on. 200 goals now for Atletico Madrid. So many goals elsewhere. It's Marseille 3, Ajax 0. Igor Paixão scoring twice, his first goals for the club since joining Marseille from Feyenoord. And Inter 2, Slavia Prague 0. Slavia were defending so well until an awful error from the goalkeeper, allowing Lautaro Martinez to score the second goal from Denzel Dumfries.
Thank you very much for that, John. John Bennett's going to be across that for the rest of this evening. We're here through till 10:30. Coming up, we're going to hear from Eddie Howe and Pep Guardiola ahead of their Champions League games, which are tomorrow. First, though, it's the news on 5 Live with Johnny Freeman.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Kelly. Good evening. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, says Britain faces a fight for the soul of the country. Addressing the Labour Party conference in Liverpool, he called it a battle between decency and division, and also heavily criticised Reform UK. The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, has been explaining why the party is a focus of attention for the government.
We are going through a period of party realignment in our country that we haven't seen since Labour replaced the Liberal Party as the main progressive party in British politics. The Conservative Party have been and are being replaced by Reform.
Well, in response, Reform's leader Nigel Farage has said Sir Keir Starmer is unfit to be Prime Minister. A high-level meeting has been organised with the Hamas negotiating team involving officials from Egypt, Turkey and Qatar in Doha. They're trying to persuade the group to accept President Trump's peace plan for Gaza, which has been approved by Israel. The Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has also given it her backing. A man has been charged with murdering his parents and brother in County Louth in Ireland. Robert O'Connor, who's 31, was remanded in custody after a brief hearing earlier today into an incident at a home in Drumgowney yesterday morning. India's High Commission is demanding immediate action be taken against vandals who attacked the Mahatma Gandhi statue in London. The Met Police are investigating after the word terrorist was spray painted onto it. And the British singer Lola Young has cancelled all of her upcoming appearances, including a UK tour. The 24-year-old is recovering after collapsing on stage in New York last weekend.
It's International Podcast Day. To celebrate, there's plenty to get stuck into on BBC Sounds. From true crime podcasts.
Hello, welcome to Murder They Wrote.
To love stories.
Join me, Rylan, on How to Be in Love.
And from sport.
Welcome to the Wayne Rooney Show.
To music.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Sidetracked.
And there's even more where that came from. Discover your new favourite podcasts. Listen on BBC Sounds. This is 5 Live Sports, the Champions League with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to 5 Live Sport. Our commentary matches: Galatasaray against Liverpool. Galatasaray 1-0 up against Liverpool. Victor Osimhen's penalty, the difference at half-time. Mohamed Salah on the bench for Liverpool might well make changes as we head into the second half or throughout the course of the second half. But we'll be back there very shortly. Chelsea are 1-0 up at home to Benfica, and it's 0-0 between Bodo Glimt and Tottenham, although Bodo Glimt missed a penalty in the first half of that game. We'll keep you across all of that, and we'll keep you across what's happening in the EFL as well. Tomorrow night, Newcastle and Union Saint-Gilloise kicks off at 5:45. And later on, Manchester City are away to Monaco. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, and there'll be full commentary of that tomorrow night on 5 Live. Now, having suffered an ACL tear in September 2024, which ruled him out for the rest of the season, Pep Guardiola has told us that midfielder Rodri missed Manchester City's win against Burnley on Saturday due to having pain in his knee. He is, though, in Manchester City's travelling squad for tomorrow's match against Monaco, but Guardiola has been speaking about his ongoing injury issues.
It's different what happened in the World Cup now. Now it's not injured. We have a difficulty to the week before was so demanding with United, Napoli, especially Arsenal. And right now, if you ask me my feeling, right now is not able to play 3 games a week at top level. Top intensity and demanding of the opponents. My feeling right now is not ready because need time. So injuries for this type of injuries minimum 1 year, and after that it started to be, and that's why it's be patient and he dictate. When I feel not good, it's better rest. Nico make an incredible game last game. Is improving day by day, and Kova also will be quite similar, and play a little bit with that all three. Plus Tijani can play there, maybe in that position, and see what happens.
So commentary of Monaco against Manchester City tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on 5 Live. And joining us now from Monaco, where else do they spend their midweeks? Our commentary team of Conor McNamara and Chris Sutton. Good evening to both of you. Conor, really interesting to hear what Pep Guardiola was saying about Rodri. There was lots made about his return and how significant his absence was. But he's not able to play 3 games a week, still coming back to full fitness and still having to make sure he really looks after that knee.
Yeah, the three games that he did play in a week, it was the Manchester derby, it was Napoli, the Italian champions a couple of weeks back, and then it was Arsenal. So those are three particularly strenuous games, aren't they? And I was in the press conference, and Pep Guardiola, he gave a really intelligent answer about it. He actually listed out a number of other players who picked up similar ACL injuries around the time that Rodri did, and he said, look at it, they're not back yet. So he wants to very much tone it. Look, we know he's a very important player. This is a guy who they need back as quickly as possible, and yet they need him for the long term. This is a Ballon d'Or winner. He's a man who can make City tick. He's a man who, when City don't have him, they don't look quite the presence. So, yes, he's a particular interest, and I think caution is probably the smart move at this stage. You remember when he played in the Club World Cup, Rodri, and he seemed to have a little bit of a setback, and then he's obviously started this season a setback again. But Pep Guardiola was keen to stress this isn't a recurrence of the old injury. It's a different problem. It's a tendon thing, but they're going to be careful with him. You can understand why.
And he's talked about Nico Gonzalez there, the guy who he called the mini Rodri, Kovacic as well. Chris Sutton, obviously the depth in City's squad is going to prove as important for them as it always is throughout these long seasons in which they'll want to go deep into the competitions. But are they having this reset, or have they had this reset that Pep Guardiola's talked about, or are they still developing, do you think?
They've been a bit of a mixed bag, haven't they, this season? I think that's the truth with regards to Rodri.
The question.
No, but they have, and that's what makes tomorrow night so interesting. You're not quite sure which Manchester City team are going to turn up. He went a little bit pragmatic against Arsenal, big win at the weekend against Burnley. You could argue they've been sort of flat track bullies this season. They lost to Brighton, lost to Tottenham. Tottenham beat them, fairly comfortably. So I still think that getting Donnarumma in was a big deal, but they're not at full tilt just yet. And there'll be a test for them tomorrow against Monaco. What do we know about Monaco? I don't think they've kept a clean sheet all season, Monaco, but they score a few goals, and they had that incredible tie, didn't they? 2016-17. Which Monaco knocked them out. So maybe we'll see a lot of goals tomorrow night.
Chris and Connor, lovely as it is talking to you, they're about to get underway again in Turkey for the second half, so we'll hear more from you as we build up to that game tomorrow night between Monaco and Manchester City. In the meantime, we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening in the Champions League and everything that's happening in the EFL this evening. But our commentary match is in Turkey, where our team are Pat Nevin and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Kelly. Yep, back underway here for the second half. Neither side has made a change. Galatasaray in their half shirts of I think the official colours are red and yellow, but it looks more like red and orange. They're playing from right to left as we look. So they've got Shakir in goal, Singo, Bardacci, Sanchez and Jacobs as a defence. Midfield, Torreira and Lemina with Gundogan, Yilmaz, Akgün and Osimhen as the lone striker. Liverpool in their green shirts and white shorts as the ball is almost headed back past his own goalkeeper by Jacobs. It required a diving save actually with an outstretched right hand by Shakir as Frimpong put the left back under pressure. Green shirts and white shorts for Liverpool from left to right as we look, with Alisson in goal. Back four of Szoboszlai at right back, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez. Jones and Gravenberch in the midfield, Frimpong on the right, Wirtz, Gakpo behind Ekitike. Salah is on the bench, so that's four changes made from the team that lost at Selhurst Park at the weekend. A cacophony of noise inside this Rams Park arena because Liverpool are in possession as they look for an equaliser. Frimpong threads it short and through, Wirtz towards Gravenberch. Blocked on the edge of the area, ball runs through to Gundogan. Gundogan with his years of experience does a 360-degree turn, drops to his knees, the referee says no foul, and then Bardacci clears long. Osimhen up against Van Dijk, who guides his header onto the chest of Konate. Pat Nevin.
Just get the ball there, Bert's in a really good position. Brilliant run to get into space. But he just doesn't seem to want to commit to the pass. It's a kind of dolly towards players. You need to zip it in there, and when you're confident, that's what you do. He seems to be lacking a bit of confidence.
Frimpong has stayed high on this near side to right. Szoboszlai joins the attack. Out it goes to the Dutchman. Jacobs backpedals, Frimpong goes on the outside, crosses the ball into the area. Gakpo climbs too early, comes out towards Kerkez. left corner of the box, outside the penalty area he goes. Atgood has stayed with him, gets the block in, and then he, with a clenched fist, raises his right hand in the air, and the crowd on that far side, underneath the Liverpool supporters, 2,500 of them in that right corner, respond. They are pumped up. They lead by a goal to nil. They're going to have to try and work and contain this Liverpool side. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 2, so Southampton have come from behind. 5 Live final score is available on the iPlayer and also the BBC Sport website as the ball is driven out towards Frimpong on the attack. Jacobs backpedals. Frimpong enters the penalty area. Frimpong towards the byline with the cutback. Ekitike with a little flick almost came off, saved by the legs of Shakir. Frimpong still has it once again. That would have been a cute goal from Ekitike.
It was brilliant. There is a flag up down there. He stopped it, but very good play by Frimpong getting to the byline. But Ekitike knew exactly what he was doing. There's no way he could get it on target other than a little bit of a backheel, and he backheeled it with some decent amount of power there. But the keeper was just in exactly the right place, and it pinged out back to him. They've actually given a offside against Frimpong, but it was in the second part after the backheel.
Blackburn Rovers 1, Swansea City 2 is the latest score in the Championship. And Bodo Glimt missed a penalty in the first half. However, John Akers,
they are ahead. Bodo Glimt 1, Spurs 0.
Hold on, John. Osserman has taken the ball away from Jones. Jones recovers. No foul, says the referee. Allison picks it up. Back to you, John.
Halgar from the left-hand side, cutting in, corner of the penalty area, a curler. It's a brilliant finish. 8,000 fans on their feet, going crazy. Bodo Glimt 1, Spurs 0.
Osserman has stayed down, and the referee now stops play. Galatasaray supporters are not happy that Liverpool did not put the ball out of play, and they're not happy with the referee because they thought that he'd been fouled.
Yeah, I mean, you were right to cut in there. It was 2 against 1. It was on their favour, but he took too long to make the decision to shoot, and by the time he has the shot, the man who'd actually made the mistake in the first place, Jones, got back in there. He's got a touch of the ball, and what Osman has done is kicked his foot. So I don't think the referee's going to change his mind there. Had he got that wrong and touched it wrong, he could have been sent off as well there, Jones. Massive moment in the game there. But once again, that high pressing we were talking about at half-time there, Andros Townsend particularly put the point across. They're very, very good at it. And actually Liverpool look a little bit sleepy there.
Tell you what, Pat, you are bang on about that challenge from Jones. That had to be perfectly timed.
Yeah, and it was. But he knew that if he didn't make a tackle, it was 2-1. But I have to say, it was a little bit slow in getting the shot off Osman. I mean, he's just taking. You don't get much time in these games, in these situations. But it took too much time, and he's hurt himself more than he's been hurt by anyone else.
He's hobbling, but he is back to his feet. Marseille have now got a 4th goal at home to Ajax in the Champions League. Marseille 4, Ajax 0. Another goal, Bodo Glimt Tottenham, John Akers.
Spurs are level. Porro's free kick, it was a cross, but it bounced and hit the post. It was whipped back in, and then Bentancur, 3 yards out, has turned it in. 55 gone. Bodo Glimt 1, Spurs 1.
Chelsea, remember, are still ahead at home to Benfica. Liverpool, though, are behind. The ball swept forward casually but long by Van Dijk. Gakpo races after it, left-hand side of the penalty area. And then it is Wilfried Singo who follows him all the way. Torreira's back there helping out. Szoboszlai with a cross. The referee's blown his whistle. Liverpool have got a free kick, I think, left-hand side of the penalty area.
I mean, the way that they defend, they get so close to the Liverpool players. They harass them. You know, if you ever watched Cucurella, the way he defends, he gets very, very close. He's harassing everybody all the time. He doesn't give them a millisecond. He doesn't give them half an inch of space. The problem is, if you do that and you're not a very, very good defender, you will give free kicks away. And that's exactly what Galatasaray have done in a very dangerous area for a cross, not a shot.
Just heard strains of the Liverpool support who have had to endure the strict measures to enter the ground here tonight. They had to be in place for their shuttle buses 4.5 hours before kick-off, and their arduous evening will not be over just as yet either, because then they'll be kept back for about 90 minutes after the final whistle. So they're watching on from their lofty position on that far side. They'll have a great view of Szoboszlai, who stands over this free kick. 8 yards up from the byline. Liverpool in their green shirts. 7.5 minutes into the second half. Bit of pushing going on inside that penalty area. Wirtz is getting nudged in the back there by Yilmaz. Szoboszlai fires it in, hits the two-man wall, goes behind for a corner kick to Liverpool.
It was one of those ones you're thinking, it's not a shot, it's a cross from there. But you know that Szoboszlai is capable of doing that. He's tried to whip it and he's not got it above the wall, but they've got a corner kick.
Eintracht Frankfurt have got a goal back. Atletico Madrid 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 1. Liverpool have got a corner kick, far side the left. Galatasaray have got everybody back inside the penalty area. Gakpo with the in-swinger. The goalkeeper has come, hasn't got there, and then it's cleared on the half volley by Lemina. And back to Norway. John Akers.
The Spurs goal has been ruled out for a push by Danso in the build-up as the free kick came in. It's
hold on,
really
John.
soft.
Osman is here. Osman runs through. Osman can't get the better of Alisson on this occasion. He made the interception. He was in on goal, right-footed. He shot straight at Alisson. Osman can't believe it. He's furious with himself.
Wow, just wow. Sorry, John, but every time we go to you, something wild happens here. And by the way, Alisson's gone down and he's not got back up again. He's got something wrong with him there as well. Osman's finish wasn't good enough there. That's twice. Osman's been 1-1 with the goalkeeper in the second half. This game could have been gone.
John, I won't interrupt you this time. Alisson is down. You've got plenty of time.
Bodo Glimt still lead 1-0. Van de Ven has just been booked and Glimt have a free kick. They've had no luck there with that decision in the build-up to that goal, which has been disallowed. Bodo Glimt 1, Spurs 0, as an effort goes wide from that free kick.
What a chaotic night it has been in every sense.
It's wild. I mean, the thing is, you're right to go to John there, because there was no problem, except Liverpool blew it again. They've been very, very sloppy along the back line in the midfield and even in the centre-back area. Of course, Van Dijk accepted, obviously, because he never is, or very rarely is. But that's great chances for Osman there, and he's chased it, and he's got it down, and he'll be gutted himself that he's got to finish a lot better than that. He's got to make the keeper do a lot more than that. In the end, he's just rolled it towards Alisson, and Alisson's, there's just no way he's going to be able to carry on there, is he?
Alisson is not able to continue, and so it means that Georgi Mamardashvili, who celebrated his birthday yesterday, he turned 25, is going to be coming on to replace Alisson, injured in the process. Pat, you saw the Georgian international against Portugal, didn't you? Euro 2024.
Yeah, I've seen him quite a few times. He is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And it is one of those ones where Liverpool, obviously, the Keller, they could have brought him before he left. And I brought in Mamardashvili. Honestly, he is, as a shot stopper, there's not many better. There really is not many better. He is very, very special in that department.
So Mamardashvili is on. He made his debut last week against Southampton at Anfield in the League Cup. Here he is now in the Champions League as he hits the ball downfield, as Alisson slowly but surely makes his way down the tunnel. Ball threaded through towards Osman. Konate sliding. Didn't clear the ball effectively. He had to get a second chance to volley it away.
It's looking very, very messy in that Liverpool defence just now. Now, they've given away a few goals this season, but at the moment, it just looks nervy.
Konate was very uncertain at Selhurst Park at the weekend. Meanwhile, Liverpool trying to come forward. Wirtz, Lemina slides into the challenge. Gundogan, though, is stopped by Szoboszlai over the halfway line. Lemina almost catches Szoboszlai. Gravenberch passes the ball in towards the centre circle. 11 minutes into the second half. Here is Curtis Jones, passes the ball towards Van Dijk, just strokes it short towards Kerkez. This is 5 Live. We're also live on the BBC Sounds app. From my experience of Monaco, it won't be as noisy for Monaco Manchester City tomorrow on 5 Live.
I don't think it will be. There's nowhere. This is just extraordinary. And it's a level of noise and the consistency of it as well. Now, we've started this second half and we're, nearly getting towards the 15-minute mark where I suspect Liverpool will make changes. However, Liverpool have started very well, except for the defence, which have given away, just handed in the plate, easy chances or good chances to Gala. Apart from that, Liverpool going forward have looked good in the start of the second half.
After that deafening shrill, when it stops, it's like something
relief.
for the senses, isn't it, for the ears? As now the Galatasaray supporters, who I don't think have sat down all night, are clapping in unison with their hands above their heads. Wherever you look, it's the red and orange and yellow. As now they're jumping up and down in this ball-like arena as they still lead by a 0-0. Here is Gravenberch, uses his strength up to the chest of Ekitike. Bardacci catches him on the head. Referee, though, says to Ekitike he's got to get up to his feet. Ball played towards Yilmaz, now on the right-hand side. Yilmaz, Osimhen has peeled away from Szoboszlai. They couldn't deliver the cross, it was blocked. It's a Galatasaray throw, far side to right, they're still 1-0 up.
Well done, once again, Virgil van Dijk. You're 1-1 there. You're saying you're going to get run, you're going to have to find out if you've got the pace. But no, he's too clever for that. He closes it down, slows him down, gives his teammates a chance to get back. Honestly, the effortless brilliance of Van Dijk sometimes is amazing to watch.
Birmingham City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2 is the latest score in the Championship. Torreira, formerly of Arsenal, out towards that far side for Akgun. He can't keep the ball in play. Liverpool get a throw and want to take it quickly. Kerkez. Little touch there by Jones to Van Dijk. Imagine experiencing this week in, week out.
I wonder if it's quite as loud as this every single week. I wonder.
Wirtz gives it away. Here is Torreira. Torreira back towards Davison Sanchez, Tottenham player. Spent 6 years in North London when they'd signed him from Ajax, just over 200 appearances and 5 goals, a Champions League runner-up in 2019 for Tottenham Hotspur, of course against Liverpool. 20 years on from the miracle of Istanbul for Liverpool with their illustrious history in this competition. They are behind here in the sprawling metropolis of Istanbul.
But very noticeable now that every time the ball comes over to Yilmaz on the left-hand side, he's giving Szoboszlai a really tough time. But when the ball goes out, Frimpong is right back in there. So he's got a player behind and a player in front as well. And it just underlines how many problems that they've caused down this left-hand side through Yilmaz.
Another goal at Leicester, Sani Rudavajla.
And the away end is bouncing here. Leicester 1, Wrexham 1. Great play by O'Brien on the right-hand side. And substitute Nathan Broadhead to slide home. Leicester 1, Wrexham 1.
Hull 2, Preston North End 2 is another latest score and notice in the Championship. And there are no other goals elsewhere, either in Europe or domestically, to tell you about here on 5 Live.
Do you know what? He's 20 seconds late, Arne Slot, in the changes he wants to make. I thought he would leave it to the 60th minute. Well, 60 minutes and 10 seconds. And out walks not a bad couple of players down there. In fact, 3.
Triple change.
Yeah.
Salah, Isak, Bradley are the players who are going to be coming on. Liverpool are in possession, but they're midway through their own half. Wirtz just was pulled back there by Bardacci. The referee will give it. Well spotted, actually, and in fact he's going to get a yellow card there to the Galatasaray captain. Good refereeing by Clement Turpin.
Yeah, he let one go in the first half very early on, as if to say, look, give you a chance, you're all a bit excitable. But by the letter of the law, he's absolutely spot on to do that, yeah. Liverpool making the changes. It's certainly 2 of them were what I expected. But then the third one, bringing on a right back, well, that makes perfect sense with how dangerous they have been this left-hand side through Yilmaz.
So, Salah is coming on for Gakpo. Looking to see who the other 2 changes are going to be. Isak and Bradley are waiting. Frimpong is going to come off for Conor Bradley, so he'll go in at right back. Szoboszlai then will move back into midfield, and then the other change for Isak to come on. Who was that other change?
I'd love to help you out now, but I didn't quite spot it.
Gravenberch is the player who has gone off for Alexander Isak. So Ekitike and Isak playing together. That was the change. The third and final change. Michael Olise has now got in on the act. It's Paphos 1, Bayern Munich 5. as Liverpool play the ball up towards Isak. Isak with his pace, he's onto it. Isak hits it early, saved by the goalkeeper. Bodo Glimt, Tottenham, John Akers.
Bodo Glimt 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and it's Hauger again with another brilliant goal, the number 10 for the Norwegians. On his left foot, fired it low and hard after a really good trick, and Spurs are up against it. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 0.
So that's a reversal of the scoreline when Tottenham visited the Arctic Circle for that Europa League semi-final second leg last season. So Spurs 2-0 down. Chelsea still lead Benfica by 1-0, as Atletico Madrid are now leading Eintracht Frankfurt by 4-1 elsewhere in the Champions League. And here the Osimhen penalty still gives Galatasaray a slender lead. 63 minutes played on 5 Live and Radio Merseyside.
Very, very noticeable that it is Isak that's gone up front, and you've got Ekitike has gone wide left and going in from that sort of area. Personally, I don't think it matters which one goes where, and if they adapt and change it, and switch about, that's fine too.
Gundogan dispossessed by Salah. Wirtz loses out though towards Jacobs. Gundogan looks for the ball, cut out though by Konate. Tried to play an Osimhen in. Bradley did well also to make sure that Liverpool retained possession. Ball played forward, headed and then cleared downfield by Lamina, and out it goes for a throw. Goal in our game in League One at Cardiff. Molly Stevens.
Cardiff 0, Burton 1. Astonishing. Charlie Webster has put Burton Albion ahead against the team looking to go top of League One with a win tonight. Just 6 minutes left here. Astonishing stuff. Cardiff 0, Burton 1.
And Gary Bowyer's side, bottom of the table without a win in 7. That really is a surprise with that goal from Charlie Webster with 8 minutes remaining. Bristol City, Ipswich Town, Aaron Paul.
Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1. Just had a really good chance of Sinclair Armstrong. Played through, smothering save by the keeper. Interesting development elsewhere at Sheffield United, Ian, where Chris Wilder has been sent off after kicking a ball in frustration at a fan just before half-time. The Blades were 1-0 up at the time. He booted the ball towards the stand, walked over, apologised to the supporter, came back and was sent off by the referee, and Sheffield United are now 2-1 down. Here, though, it's Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1.
Here is Ekitike, caught in possession, robbed of the ball. Yilmaz now joins the attack with pace, runs to the edge of the area, enters the box, pulls it back. Osimhen on the stretch, plays the ball forward towards Sanchez, comes to the edge of the area. Torreira nudges the ball out towards that far side. Atgun back towards Torreira with a cutback. Sanchez has stayed forward, and Liverpool get the ball away. Another goal at Bodo Glimt. John Akers.
Spurs have got one back. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1. Delicious cross from the right from Porro and headed in by Mickey van der Ven, captaining the team for the first time. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1.
Isak tries to roll away from Bardacci. Galatasaray give the ball away. Szoboszlai plays it out wide to that left-hand side. Ekitike, I think, has injured himself. He stayed down. He stretched for it, and by doing so, he stayed down. It might be a touch of cramp. There's also another Galatasaray player, Osimhen, who's down.
Yeah, Osimhen, he's down and he is injured. And he's come on, he's obviously been injured when he started the game. He's trying to go through it as much as possible. But I tell you what, I think he's really injured. He went down in the box, making an attempt to turn and have a little bit of a go at the goal. But there was a half chance that he could have got another chance at it when they kept possession. He never moved. Osimhen doesn't do that. If there's half a chance at all, you think if he can move at all, he will move. He didn't move, so he's really struggling now.
So he's got a physio tending to him, and that's in the penalty area away towards our left. 66 minutes played. Ekitike also on the stretch, and maybe he's got a strain, and the two physios have just run onto the field of play to tend to Hugo Ekitike. Gives us an opportunity to go to John Southall and Paul Robinson at Stamford Bridge.
Well, Chelsea lead Benfica by 1-0. We've also got the trainer on the pitch here as well, Ian, one of the Benfica players down in the 6-yard box. It was a Pedro Neto cross from the right-hand side. Neto's been terrific tonight, and the flying goalkeeper punched it out for the corner. Paul Robinson, what have we made of it? I mean, that Benfica are not out of this.
No, they're not out of it, and as long as it stays 1-0, they'll still fancy their chances defensively. They look resolute. They're looking to take their opportunities on the counter-attack. As expected, Maresca's made changes. Gittins has come on for Garnacho, João Pedro for George, and Estevao come on just after half-time. The players that we probably expected to see starting.
Yeah, positive changes for Chelsea, who still lead Benfica by 1-0, 71 minutes played.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Paul. Top of the table clash at the Riverside. Rob Law.
Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0, but it's so open now. Stoke have just gone close. Sobra Thomas through on goal, squared it to Thomas Rigo inside the box, but his shot was well saved. Down low by Sol Bryn. 5 minutes left to play. Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0.
McAllister is going to be coming on for Liverpool. Ekitike is still getting treatment here in Istanbul.
I mean, I can understand why they're doing that. I mean, but Ekitiki's playing wide in the left there. And they've got the young and Gumoha, who could come on as well. It looks like it's not going to be him, it's going to be McAllister. And with that sort of experience, you understand why.
McAllister just waits. Ekitike on his feet, walked over towards that far side of the field. Of course, Liverpool are at Chelsea at the weekend. We will have commentary of that 5:30 game on Saturday evening. Pat, in fact, will be part of the commentary team at Stamford Bridge as McAllister does indeed come on for Ekitike.
And by the way, Osman is trying to get back on again. Many times has he been down in this game, but he desperately wants to be part of this. He wants to be the centre of attention. He is just one of those players. And he's shouting over, get someone ready in case I can't go anymore.
Well, Roland Shuloy, the Hungarian international, country teammate, of course, of Kerkez and Szoboszlai, is waiting to come onto the field of play for Galatasaray. We are midway through the second half here on BBC Radio 5 Live. We're with you through until 10:30. That'll be 12:30 local time before Tony Livesey takes over as the ball is swept out towards Salah, but Jacobs, the left back, heads it out of play. Bradley hurriedly takes the throw quickly. Jacobs is back in position, comes off his chest and clears it up towards Osimhen. Getting in front of Osimhen was Konate, who heads it out of play for a Galatasaray throw. On this near side, just over 20 minutes remaining. Liverpool are on a club record run of scoring in 40 consecutive league games, but in all competitions, they failed to score once in their last 27. That was against Paris Saint-Germain back in March. But at the minute, they've drawn a blank. They did have opportunities. As now, here is Akgun coming forward.
And by the way, Icardi might be coming on, and I suspect that will be for the man Osimhen, who's worked his socks off, it has to be said.
So they're looking to try and make that double change at Galatasaray. Mauro Icardi, Argentinian international, has been in excellent form this season. He's actually been the captain in the last 7 games. He's scored 5 goals in 7 matches as the 32-year-old striker. Yilmaz has been busy. Doesn't get the decision on this occasion, though. Double substitution still in the offing. Liverpool with Szoboszlai. Bradley goes ahead of him. Salah in field. Curtis Jones outside the centre circle, plays it back. Van Dijk comes onto the ball on the halfway line and out towards that far side. Wirtz comes in field, sends over the cross. Bradley with a header, mistimed it, came off the side, left-hand side of his head, and was well off target for a goal kick. 1-0 to Galatasaray.
He's also made a difference. He's been on a minute, and Bradley has already driven the player who was the biggest danger there, Yilmaz, all the way back the field there. The last thing Yilmaz wants to do at this point in time is chase his throw back all the way back there, and he's done that right from the start. Really clever management from Arne Slot, but also very clever play by the right full back that he's brought on, Conor Bradley.
Well, Victor Osimhen hasn't been fully fit, but he's done a half put a shift in for these 71 minutes as he makes way, as does Yunus Akgun, the player who once had that spell at Leicester City, as Roland Shuloy, the Hungarian international, comes on to replace Akgun, and Icardi comes on to replace Osimhen to lead the line.
Yeah, and Akgun, I think, actually did quite well. They will have to change it around a little bit here. But Icardi's not a bad player to bring on, is it? He's okay. If he's fit, he's a danger. He's a goal scorer.
That's Pat Nevin, who is with us here in Istanbul with 18 minutes remaining. Arne Slot, that defeat at Selhurst Park was only his 10th loss in 65 games as Liverpool manager. Only once at his time on Merseyside has he lost back-to-back games. But that is the prospect that he's facing here. A side that, of course, topped the league phase last year in the Champions League, topped the group, looking at a defeat in their second match. As Torreira looks for Yilmaz. Bradley was eager, too eager. He's going to get a yellow card for catching Yilmaz, as Yilmaz just tried to turn away from the Northern Ireland international, and the Liverpool substitute is shown a yellow card. Free kick to Galatasaray.
Yilmaz knew exactly what he's doing. He could feel that Bradley was flying in there. He didn't go for the ball. He put his leg in the way of the tackle and took the hit. And it's one of those ones you take a chance when you do that, because if your foot's planted when that's happened, you can break your ankle. Bradley's trying to explain that to the referee. Referees don't see that. So it's a free kick. Bradley's booked and he has to be careful already.
So Bradley's shown the yellow card. Free kick that Gundogan stands over. Ilkay Gundogan, who in his 15 appearances for Manchester City lost twice last season, both by a scoreline of 2-0. Only had 5 wins in those 15 games against Liverpool in his career for the Sky Blue of Manchester City. Takes a rather safe free kick, and then the Singo and Sanchez pass the ball between each other, and they go back towards the goalkeeper, who launches it long, and it's over the head of Yilmaz, and Liverpool will play out from the back.
You just get a feeling at some point Liverpool will manipulate the situation to get Mo Salah on the ball in the final third. If they do that, that looks to be the biggest opportunity they've got so far. I don't know if he's had a kick yet.
Mamadashvili, the substitute goalkeeper, plays it forward. Kirkes now looks for Wirtz. Wirtz challenged by Singo. Van Dijk is the one who now looks towards Salah. Just steps away from Jacobs. Passes the ball in field to Curtis Jones. Jones tripped. Referee though plays, no, he doesn't play the advantage. He's already blown his whistle for a free kick. McAllister isn't happy because he'd fizzed it out towards Salah, but the referee had stopped play. It's a Liverpool free kick, and McAllister, with a shrug of the shoulders, says why.
Yeah, he just panicked slightly, the referee, and it's a real shame because it's that opportunity that I was talking about. At some point, he'll get the ball one-on-one with a defender, Mo Salah, and he will make something happen. Absolute certainty, he will make something happen.
Another change for Galatasaray. Ilkay Gundogan, 2-year deal that he signed on a free in the summer from Manchester City. The 34-year-old midfielder coming off Gabriel Sara, who arrived from Norwich City in August 2024. 93 appearances and 21 goals in 2 years at Carrow Road. The 26-year-old Brazilian comes on into the midfield as a replacement. Liverpool with a free kick. Szoboszlai floats it into the penalty area. Konate tries to get on the end of it. There's a player who's gone down, and it's a head injury. It is Sanchez writhing around at the moment. Stoppage in play. Galatasaray still lead 1-0.
Yeah, he's gone down. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to stop the play. You get a feeling he did get a bit of a hefty one on the side of his head. I don't know if it was a head-to-head or a little bit of an elbow. And Galatasaray have got the ball again. They will be happy about that because they were under a lot of pressure there, and they've got the ball back.
The last team to stop Liverpool from scoring in either the group stage or the league phase of the Champions League were Atalanta in November 2020. 23 games since. In that period, Liverpool have scored 56. Can they find one tonight to equalise? Salah was involved in a tussle there with Jacobs. The referee again has spotted it. Jacobs should be shown a yellow card.
It will be. Trust me, he will be. He knew what he was doing there. He held on to the shirt of Salah. Salah's, as he does with everyone, and he's making them panic. The fans are not impressed with that. But even if he didn't give it for the pulling of the shirt, he kicked the ball away. He's going to get a yellow anyway.
I've got a feeling that Icardi has also been shown a yellow card for his protests in frustration to the French referee Clément Turpin. I think 2 yellow cards were just shown there. Jacobs quite rightly, but for the excessive protests, Mauro Icardi is also shown yellow. Liverpool have got a free kick. They still trail by 1-0. Szoboszlai knocks it to Kirkes. Kirkes now chips it to the penalty area. Van Dijk has stayed forward. Galatasaray player falls over. That was Bardacci, captain to captain. Haul each other back to with a helping hand back to his feet for Bardacci, and it goes out of play. as the half-time scores are coming in. In fact, Derby County in the 8 o'clock kickoff have got an equaliser. Derby County 1, Charlton 1. Blackburn Rovers 1, Swansea City 2 is a full-time. Leicester City 1, Wrexham 1 is how it's finished. Sanny.
Yeah, Nathan Broadhead's leveller on 77 minutes, cancelling out Jordan James. Boos at full time from the Leicester fans. Very frustrated. Wrexham deserved with that second half showing. Leicester 1, Wrexham 1.
Middlesbrough 0, Stoke City 0. We'll get news of that from Rob Law. At the top in the Championship, we've got 12 minutes remaining. Atletico Madrid 5, Eintracht Frankfurt 1. So Eintracht Frankfurt, who handed out a 5-1 hammering to Galatasaray on match day 1, they've been spanked in Madrid. Let's go to Middlesbrough. Rob Law.
Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0, better than the scoreline suggests. Really open game that swung this way and that. The league leaders Middlesbrough dominated the first half. Stoke came back in the second. Neither could find the breakthrough. Middlesbrough remain top of the table with a 4-point cushion. Stoke are up to second. Middlesbrough 0, Stoke 0.
Szoboszlai keeps the ball in play. Salah right hand side level the penalty area. Back heels it. Bradley now runs forward. Fouled by Yilmaz, gets back to his feet. Referee says play on. Szoboszlai now towards McAllister. Liverpool playing with urgency. 11 minutes remaining. The whistles are deafening here inside Istanbul. As up towards Salah, can't control it. Galatasaray with Jacobs, play it short and square. Yilmaz turns, tries to get away from Bradley. Harassing him, forcing Yilmaz back deep inside his own half. Yilmaz tries to hold him off, tries to put the ball out of play. Bradley though dispossesses him, helped out by McAllister. Szoboszlai and McAllister combine on this near right hand side. Now it's with Salah. Salah right hand side, they doubled up on him. He's picked out Szoboszlai, can't get the ball from underneath his feet, and it then rather tamely runs out for a goal kick as Galatasaray, just over 10 minutes remaining, still have a slender lead.
You know Liverpool have got gears. We all know that. They've just started to go through them now. They really have quickened the pace up. Yeah, it makes a difference. You get McAllister on, you've got Salah on, you've got a little bit more pace there. Isak looked really lively as soon as he come on. Hasn't had the ball for the last 4 or 5 minutes, but they have risen it. And you think to yourself, with most teams, there's about 10 minutes to go. It's away from home in the Champions League. You're running out of time. This is Liverpool. You've got lots and lots of time. There's so many late goals in this campaign, this season so far. You will not be surprised if they get chances and indeed get goals.
That's Pat Nevin with us here on 5 Live. Shaqiri with the goal kick, all in purple away towards our right hand side. You know, this stadium has 10,404 solar panels, providing enough to cover 63% of its energy. I've just got an electric shock off our bench in front of us here as McAllister has been fouled. He's gone down. The Galatasaray supporters aren't happy. Liverpool have 10 minutes to get a point here and an equaliser. McAllister from that free kick finds Van Dijk, puts his foot on the ball, and now towards Sanchez. It's finished Blackpool 2, Luton Town 2. So Luton Town were 2-0 down at Bloomfield Road, and they've come back there in League One. Ball scooped up towards Jones. Jones lifts it into the penalty area. Sanchez heads it away. Galatasaray don't get the ball clear. Loose ball, Bradley to Salah, right corner of the area. Good ball in, flying save, fisted away by Shaqiri. Icardi tries to run it back. Galatasaray with Torreira, he gives it away. They're furious, and they're making mistakes at Galatasaray. Liverpool looking the more composed as they look for an equaliser. Szoboszlai towards Salah. The supporters are trying to keep them going. And then McAllister with a careless ball towards Icardi. Birmingham City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. An injury time equaliser at St Andrews. John Akers watching Bodo Glimt Tottenham.
And Spurs have hit the frame of the goal. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1. Odebert with a header clattered off the corner of bar and post. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1. 5 minutes to go plus added time.
Salah up against Jacobs. Salah bouncing ball, tries to roll away from Jacobs, who got the last touch. It'll be not Liverpool. Oh, so it won't be a Liverpool corner kick. It'll be a goal kick instead. Gives us an opportunity to go to John Southall at Stamford Bridge.
4 minutes to play. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0, but Benfica showing intent now. Ivanovic on the right of the area, shot wide of the right-hand post. This is not over. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Full-time Ashton Gate, Aaron Paul.
Bristol City 1, Ipswich 1. Rob Atkinson with the opener for the home side. Jack Clark equalising from the spot. Both sides blunt in the final third. 1-1.
Full time at Cardiff. Molly Stevens.
Cardiff missed their opportunity to go top of the league versus the side who came into the game bottom. Burton snatched all 3 points, having only had 20% possession all game. Charlie Webster in the 82nd minute fires low and right. Cardiff's problem was just not taking their very many chances. Cardiff 0, Burton 1.
Their first win in 8. Only their second win of the season, and it is sufficient to lift them off the bottom of League One as Peterborough now drop to bottom of the table. Sheffield United 1, Southampton 2. So Southampton have got their first win in 7, and Sheffield United remain bottom of the Championship. That's the full-time score in South Yorkshire. 7 minutes remaining here in Istanbul. 5 Live and Radio Merseyside. And Galatasaray still lead through that Victor Osimhen penalty in the first half.
Well, groans from the Liverpool fans there. The ball's lumped up miles into the air by Konate. There's no Liverpool player within 40 yards of that. A really poor pass on that, just when they were getting up ahead of steam. And at the moment, just looking at Galatasaray, they're being pushed back. They're not taking steps back. They're being pushed back. Liverpool are doing really well at the moment. Of course, what a difference Mo Salah gets. As soon as he gets the ball, there is panic in that defence in front of him, but he hasn't been able to create a chance yet.
The two of the results we haven't given you from the Championship in the 7:45 kickoffs: Birmingham City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2, with that 99th minute equaliser for the home side at St Andrews, and Hull City 2, Preston 2 is how it finished also in the Championship. They're still playing Derby 1, Charlton 1. This is 5 Live. Galatasaray are attacking on that far side, and it's a strong run in towards the penalty area, and in the end it was an opportunity, but it went out of play and out for a goal kick. Let's get another update, John Akers.
Now Bodo Glimt have hit the crossbar. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1. Helmerson just on the edge of the area, just flicked the top of the bar. Spurs in possession, 2 minutes to go to try and get something out of it. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 1.
Liverpool have a goal kick away towards our left-hand side. Galatasaray are going to make a third and final change, and it is going to be Eren El-Mali who's going to become on, a Turkish international, and Barış Alper Yilmaz is the player who's going to be coming off. So this is a defensive change being made by Okan Buruk.
It's a very specific change that they're making. They're bringing in another left back. That's 2 left backs they've got on the pitch. I wonder why they would do that. Maybe something got to do with Mo Salah.
McAllister plays it forward. Jacobs is followed Salah all the way midway through the Liverpool half, but his pass has been intercepted by Şalay. They'll get a free kick, will Galatasaray. Bodo Glimt, Tottenham, back to John.
Equaliser for Spurs. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2. It was a low cross from Archie Gray. Keeper got a foot to it, and it just cannoned off Richarlison on the goal line. He knew nothing about it, but Spurs are level with a minute plus added time to go.
Mixed night for the 3 English clubs so far. Chelsea are ahead. Tottenham are now drawing. Liverpool are still trailing here in Istanbul. In this wonderful noise in the Ali Sami Yen Sport Complex as a firework is let off. Kelly, if you're listening, no, I didn't jump.
No,
free kick though to Galatasaray. 4.5 minutes remain.
Very impressed with you, but then again, that firework was loud, but in this place you could hardly hear it.
Free kick, flat one, goes out to this left-hand side of the area. Downward header from El-Mali, cleared by Liverpool. Jacobs almost lost out towards Szoboszlai. Bouncing ball, lets it settle, plays the ball in field. McAllister to Van Dijk. Van Dijk out towards Kerkez, far side to left. Green shirts, white shorts, playing from left to right. Kerkez once again. 4 minutes remaining. Liverpool, bearing in mind that 8 of their 21 goals have been scored after the 82nd minute this season. We are used to seeing Liverpool leave it late, and they are leaving it late. If they're to conjure up a late equaliser here, as they get a throw over on that left-hand side. And Galatasaray are going to have to defend. Curtis Jones towards Konate. Galatasaray looking to end this longest winless run in Europe's elite competition that's lasted some 7 years, since they played Lokomotiv Moscow back in 2018. They're unbeaten in their last 3 against English opposition. This would be a great night for Galatasaray. Would continue their excellent start to the season But Liverpool have won a corner with Bradley making the forward run on the right-hand side.
He made the forward run, but he made it from a brilliant pass off Mo Salah. There's a real battle down this right-hand side now. We know the quality Salah's got. Bradley will keep on going forward. They've brought players on to try and stop it. So far, Gallagher are struggling to stop that flow of good play down the right-hand side.
Szoboszlai then to take the corner kick. Szoboszlai, it's an outswinger, right-hand side, headed away by Singo, comes towards McAllister, scuffed effort, Van Dijk tries to keep it alive, plays it back to McAllister, bounces off his chest, Wirtz is in there in the penalty area, Wirtz has a shot, blocked by a sea of legs, and the sea green of Liverpool coming forward now with Szoboszlai again. McAllister swings over the cross, downward header, Konate can't get it, was he fouled? Yes he was! The referee gives a penalty to Liverpool. Liverpool with 2 minutes remaining, awarded a spot kick by the French referee without hesitation, Clement Turpin. And Shaqiri, the goalkeeper's been shown a yellow card for his protests.
I mean, why is he protesting now? Look, they're going to look at it in the VAR anyway. If it isn't a penalty kick, they'll find out. However, the desperation that was being shown in that defence there, you're not surprised that eventually someone might have made a mistake. Just about to see it. Oh, God. Of course, our frame is freeze, not able to see it. Yeah, it's tight to see. It's a really close one. The ball comes down, bounces up between the two of them. The Single's just gone for it. Has he got a toe on it? Or you could make the argument that he's actually kicked Single's foot. But it's one of those ones. Remember, earlier on we had a very similar thing up the other end. I think he's kicked Single's foot.
Well,
and that won't be a penalty kick.
Jerome Broussard, the VAR official, the cheers are because the referee has been told to come over to the monitor, and you know what that normally means. And now all of a sudden, Clement Turpin faces this Galatasaray crowd who are roaring because they know, or they believe, that this penalty will not be awarded. Meanwhile, Konate can hardly walk.
Yeah, well, if he's been kicked, he's looked at that.
No penalty. The penalty decision has been overruled, and it's almost as if Galatasaray have scored. As the wild celebrations from the Galatasaray supporters, their 1-0 lead is still intact.
It's one of those that looked right at the start as if it's a penalty kick. The keeper was so furious, but did he know something we didn't? No, it appears to be so. We've not got great monitors here, and they're miles and miles away from us. But the idea, the possibility that actually Konate put his foot in and undeliberately took the kick as he was clearing that away. So the referee's quite comfortable with that. He's quite confident with it, and he's not given the penalty kick.
It's a question now of how much added time there will be, because by my watch we are into the 90 minutes have already gone. Konate's come back onto the field of play for Liverpool, who still trail by a goal to nil. Wirtz now is penalised for a foul on Singo. Curtis Jones has shown dissent to the referee. He's now been shown a yellow card. There are 8 minutes, a minimum of 8 minutes to be added on.
Well, that's right, isn't it? There have been a lot of injuries in this game. There's quite a few stoppages. I don't think people have been throwing themselves down and pretend to be injured, but there's been all action. There's been so many incidents in this game. The 8 minutes, absolutely. For Liverpool, that's plenty to get another chance.
Ball over the top, looking for Szoboszlai. There's a lady in front of me. She can hardly walk. She's got her hands on her head. Those 8 minutes are not what they wanted. Penalty cancelled, no foul. Galatasaray player number 90 played the ball in a fair manner before the contact between players. Just as you said, Pat.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked like there in the end. But, you know, from being a distance away, you couldn't see that, and the referee was close, and he felt as if there had been a foul, obviously because Konate goes down. But I think they've got that call right.
Here is Torreira in the midfield. Forward ball for Sara to chase. Can't get there. Liverpool get it back. McAllister. His forward ball for Curtis Jones. Konate. He's got green shirts bobbing on ahead of him. 5 Live Radio Merseyside and also the BBC Sounds app. Curtis Jones midway through the Galatasaray half. Konate out towards Bradley on this near side. Curtis Jones. You can feel the desperation for that whistle, but it's still some 6 minutes away at least for these Galatasaray supporters. Isak far side the left. Şalai's in front of him. Kerkez takes over. Links up now with Isak. Şalai tries to check Kerkez. Kerkez will win a corner for Liverpool. Far side the left, Liverpool still trail.
Liverpool have been absolutely brilliant these last 15 minutes. The pace that they have lifted it to. Had they done this for the entirety of the game, they'd be cruising by now. But just since they made that triple substitution, they have lifted it and they have been absolutely superb. But Galatasaray have hung on, have chased, have done everything they can. They must have very, very little left in the tank.
5 minutes remain. Szoboszlai with a corner on the far side, headed out by Badaci. Comes towards McAllister, who hits it right-footed from 25 yards out, off target. Red card at Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. João Pedro's been sent off, second yellow card, third standing off in the last 4 games. We're still playing. Jose Mourinho's on the pitch. He's been given a yellow card. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Marseille 4, Ajax 0, Atletico Madrid 5, Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Inter 3, Slavia Prague 0, Paphos 1, Bayern Munich 5 are results in the Champions League. Derby County 1, Charlton 1 is now a full time in the 8 o'clock kickoff in the Championship. This is 5 Live. And the Galatasaray supporters are now getting out their flashlights on their phones as the ball almost chipped forward towards Icardi. Still they attack on this near side. El Mali to Sara. Sara wins a corner for Galatasaray.
Again, defending between the two Liverpool centre-backs. It just looks as if they've never met each other today, or parts of this second half. And even though Liverpool have been playing really well at the back, they just look nervy. They've made lots and lots of mistakes. And do you know what? A better pass there. Gallagher through again.
Everybody is dancing in their seats here in Istanbul. Corner kick for Galatasaray in injury time. Sara waits to take it. Szoboszlai is preventing the short option to El Mali. Lamina comes across. They do work it short. Back towards Sara. Tries to keep it down in the corner flag. Wriggles away. Lamina with a cross from the left. Partially cleared. Torreira! Hit it on the half volley. First time right-footed off target. Full-time Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Benfica 0. Rios' own goal after 18 minutes. Enough for Chelsea. It wasn't a vintage performance. Benfica finished with a flourish. Ivanovic, Otamendi, but a cheer with effort. A losing return for Jose Mourinho. He received a yellow card late on. And João Pedro sent off for Chelsea. Second yellow card. Their third red card in the last 4 games for Chelsea. It's a problem. Chelsea 1, Benfica 0.
Liverpool at the minute just can't get Salah into the game.
No, they've tried to, and he's now going a little bit more central, trying to get involved in it, but just can't do it. And again, these energy levels from these Galatasaray players have been absolutely astonishing. Looking back at that Chelsea game, Jose Mourinho gets beat 1-0. There's a bit of that kind of fits, doesn't it?
Liverpool are still trailing by a goal to 0 here, and we've got under 3 minutes remaining. Mamardashvili plays it forward. Van Dijk goes square towards Kerkez. Kerkez gives it back towards Van Dijk, who hits it forward. Bradley tries to climb over the top of El Mali. The ball will run out of play, but Liverpool will take that throw quickly. Szoboszlai to McAllister. Gets another throw for Liverpool, but they just can't seem to make inroads to that Galatasaray defence. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Szoboszlai will curl that ball into the air, off the chest of Van Dijk. The whistles again increase here inside this stadium in Istanbul because Liverpool are attacking. Jones couldn't take it in his stride, and Singo clears long. Full-time Bodo Glimt, John Akers.
Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2. Look, for a long time like Spurs would get nothing, but they've managed to get a point. Bodo Glimt 2, Spurs 2.
Thank you, John. Singo has sliced his clearance. Liverpool have a throw almost level with the penalty area left-hand side. By my watch, 90 seconds remain. They can barely watch here in Istanbul. They know they are close to a big, big win in the Champions League. Icardi can hardly run. Mamardashvili comes out of his penalty area, directs his header to Bradley. His forward ball to Szoboszlai. Comes off Lamina. Isak might get there. Sanchez had to react. 2 Galatasaray players go to ground. Liverpool have a throw. Lamina and Sanchez are both on the floor.
It's one of those ones where you think they're trying to kill the time as much as they possibly can. There's a minute and 10 seconds left. Both of them have gone down claiming cramp. There are times when I would say, absolutely not. I'm not having it. They're acting it. I'm not. I think they're having cramp. I think both of them are. The effort they've put in there is incredible. They just need to last another minute now, and these fans know it.
There's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, as Bradley hasn't been spotted, but a Galatasaray supporter, I think, has thrown a ball on the far side as it sits left side of the penalty area. By my watch, we have 30 seconds remaining, and Liverpool are still trailing. Szoboszlai hits a diagonal ball forward. Konate stayed at the forward. Here is Wirtz. McAllister, 35 yards out from goal. Out towards Bradley, right corner of the area. Szoboszlai's first time cross, aimed towards Konate and Isak. Headed away by Lemina. McAllister heads it back towards Szoboszlai. This is going to go in again. Szoboszlai twists one way. Unable to put the ball in because of Lemina's efforts. Working off the ball. Has to go back for Kerkez. Stopped by Torreira. Break could be on here for Galatasaray. This is Sara. He's got a Cardi ahead of him. He pirouettes, he goes down holding his head. The referee will have to stop play. In fact, he's blown the full-time whistle. A cacophony of noise here inside the Ali Sami Sports Complex, because Galatasaray have ended their longest ever winless run in Europe's elite competition with a famous win against Liverpool. They've beaten Liverpool by 1-0, and only for the second time under Arne Slot have Liverpool suffered back-to-back defeats. Galatasaray 1, Liverpool 0.
Amazing, and absolutely amazing. Seeing how the sound is incredible, but also the effort that those Galatasaray players played. They had a lot of very good chances in the second half, most of them on the break. But Liverpool, they just seem to say, it's going to happen. But they left it until 15-20 minutes to go before they really turned up the pace. And you expected time and again for them to breach that defence. But you've got to say, well done, Gallo. They fought, they battled, they played well with so much effort, and I just thought they would run out of gas, but somehow on fumes they managed it, and this will be long remembered in Istanbul. Brilliant win for them. For Liverpool, they've just got the small matter of Chelsea on Saturday.
They're going to have to pick themselves up. I don't think he's ever gone with 3 successive defeats, is Arne Slot. We will try and bring you an update from what he says. Of course, we'll get reaction in the 5 Live Football Daily Pod. But Liverpool have been beaten, and for the first time since November 2020, they have failed to score in the group stages in the league phase. But Kelly, I just think that this party in Istanbul for Galatasaray might go on into the wee hours here after Galatasaray have beaten Liverpool 1-0 thanks to that Osimhen penalty in the first half.
And Arne Slot looking boot-faced on the pitch as he makes his way round his players and those triumphant Galatasaray players. And the question was asked, Pat, at half-time, will they have the energy to keep up that level of intensity for the second 45 minutes? Will their players be able to hang on to that lead? And they did it, and they did it against a Liverpool side, yes, who looked below par, but we'll come on to that in a second. But just that all-round performance from Galatasaray, when they've got a player like Osimhen who scored the winning penalty, who isn't even at full fitness.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be impressed with them by that effort. And by the way, they're all in a circle just now. They're jumping about in a big huddle together. No, I don't think there's a fan left here. They're all still singing, they're all still loving it. But yeah, not just half-time, Kelly. I was asking that question before the game. Can they stick with Liverpool? Can we stick with the pace that Liverpool will raise it to when they need to at the end of the game? Well, Liverpool did. They absolutely did raise it in those last 15 minutes, which asked the question why they didn't do it a little bit quicker. May well be personnel was the question out there, and we'll get on to, is Wits a big enough, strong enough character to really push Liverpool on in those sort of situations, because it didn't look like he had what is needed there, but it's still early days for him. But when they made the changes, when Salah comes on, suddenly it looks a little bit different. And even in the likes of Bradley, he makes a difference as well. McAllister, they're more comfortable with him in that midfield area. So yeah, they just left it. But to answer your question, I continually expected them just to fall down, just to fall apart. And did they? No, they didn't. They just kept on going for the whole 98 minutes, and you got to be impressed by them. Galatasaray were very good tonight.